know if anyone was like totally freaked out when the MJ Morning Show open started like 5 minutes ago. So I apologize if I threw you off kilter. If you utilize our show beginning as sort of like a reaffirmation of your circadian rhythm, but. Yeah, the show open just started running. When I'm in the studio, like the last half hour or so, and I'm here in the studio, I'm kind of laying things out. I'm kind of putting out my papers and making little notes and doing like a last minute like lineup of the show. But of course, that always changes because then I alter things on the fly every single day. But I don't have the radio station up. So let's say I get into the studio on average about 5:30 every morning to do my kind of setup. I don't have the station on in here. I flip around to some of the local TV stations and national news just to see if there's anything fresh that just happened overnight that I'm not aware of yet. So I didn't hear that the MJ Morning Show, MJ Morning Show, I didn't hear that the show had already started technically with the show open. And what happened was the computer that runs the station, it blew through all the music. And, usually there's like a song or two that's extra that I drop and then I start the show open at the same time every morning. But this morning, I've got the studio monitors down, and then Andrew says at 5:55, Andrew says, he's like waving at me from the producer booth, "Hey, your show open is on." I'm like, "Well, why the hell's that?" So if you heard it, it was kind of different for me to say, "Oops, the show open's not supposed to happen yet." Michelle, did you know the show open was happening? Because you did have your headphones plugged in. You didn't hear it either, did you?
No, because the volume was turned all the way down.
Okay, and then where the hell's Fester?
He's just a few minutes away, maybe 2 minutes.
What, he can't make it to work on time? He must have really been freaking out. If Fester's, here he is.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Fester. Oh, by the way, I noticed that something was different about you yesterday. Yeah. And I just realized, did you shaved your goatee? You shaved your facial hair.
I did, yes.
Oh.
So why didn't you bring up anything on that yesterday?
I don't know that my facial hair is riveting topic.
Why are you all out of sorts and like disheveled and you walked in here like confused, like you're like, "Oh, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I'm all confused."
Hardly.
No, you've got a confused look to you.
I do, because I'm perplexed, because the sentence I walked in on was, "Fester must really been worried," or something to that effect. I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't worry about anything."
Well, it's quite obvious. Did you hear the show open start 5 minutes prior to the actual start time?
I have no idea.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Yeah, great. Yeah, so the show open.
We started like at 55 after?
We did. So at 55, the show open hit.
So you guys have been talking for like 8-9 minutes?
No. I shut it off.
Oh.
And I told Andrew to put in a song. Hurry up. We got 5 minutes to fill, or, at that point, like 4 minutes to fill. 3. And he puts in Lionel Richie, "Dancing on the Ceiling."
That's a good song.
Yeah, that's a smoker right there.
What a feeling, dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah,
I
It
like
was fun,
Yeah,
peppy.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so welcome, everybody. It's the MJ Morning Show. Why are you all disheveled and running late this morning?
If I told you,
Oh, jeez.
if I told you,
You wouldn't believe me, or
No,
what?
if I told you the primary reason was because of my dog's pooping pattern,
Oh, gee.
you wouldn't believe me.
Are you walking the dog?
Well, I walk the dog, right? And usually the dog's pretty good about going out, maybe do a tink tink or a poop or a poop poop.
A tink tink and a poop poop?
Yeah, go tink tink, go tink tink. Right, so the
Oh,
dog,
you tell your dog to go tink tink?
yeah, go tink tink. What do you tell your dog? Go to the bathroom
No,
like
no,
you people.
I say go potty.
Go potty.
So
Go
But your
potty.
mom says make a sis.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
My mom tells,
Yeah.
really?
there are so many
Different ways.
Wow.
slang names or pet names to say go to the relieve yourself.
Drop a deuce.
Relieve yourself. Yes. Have a BM.
I
So,
mean,
but I tell my dog, go tink tink, and the dog goes tink tink, and I go go.
Tink tink.
I say go.
Did
poop.
you tell your kids to go tink tink? Did that evolve from your kids?
No, this is a dog only thing.
Yeah.
A dog only. And
Yeah.
who came up with tink tink?
I did, because it's like go potty,
As
and
in a tinkle.
I think Hadley started with go tinkle, and then tinkle evolved into a tink tink.
Tink tink.
So go tink tink, and then it was like go poop poop, right? And then the dog goes poop poop in the yard, and I don't have a bag with me.
Oh.
So then I have to remember where the dog poop poops. So I put the dog back in the house, I get the bag, and I walk back in the yard, except it's dark.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And everything in my lawn is,
Let me guess.
brown and green. So,
Did you step in it?
no, I didn't step in it. Thankfully.
With your Crocs?
No.
Oh, crap. Look at my Crocs.
I'll tell you what, Crocs are the
Craps.
best shoes. The best crap Crocs they're the best shoes to step in it with. 'Cause they hose right off.
Hose right off.
But
Jeez.
I'm out there with my cell phone light on, bent over.
Oh, my God. You're looking for a poop pile in your front yard at 5 o'clock in the morning?
And then, no, at 5, now I'm running that where it's like a hair. And then I couldn't find it. I'm like, oh, great. I just got to leave it. I got to find it after the show.
So you didn't find
I didn't find
the pile.
I put extra time in to look for the poop poop, but I couldn't find the poop poop because, the tink tink just goes right in. But it was, and I'm like, crap, now I'm late. And then every little thing,
crap.
like the neighbor that's on the other side of the neighborhood,
Yeah.
who I
Yes.
know is an early riser because
Yeah.
I see him in his
What, does
driveway.
he think there's a prowler in the yard?
No.
Some guy's in the yard, like, crawling with a flashlight?
Other side.
He's probably calling He's probably calling 911.
Yes, a prowler is looking for a poop poop. So on the other side of the neighborhood, there's a guy who I know is early just because I see his taillights in his driveway, and I usually get out before him.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I'm looking at some big fat guy. He's crawling. I think he might be a burglar. Got a
He's
prowler.
in the yard.
Prowler in the neighborhood.
He's looking at the weeds in the lawn.
He's doing an army crawl across the front yard. All right, go ahead.
So, I know that guy's an early riser. I
Right.
usually beat him out of the neighborhood, but today I didn't because I'm running a minute late because of the pip pip.
the pip pip.
And
yeah.
he's in the road, and he backs out of his driveway like he has all the frickin' time in the world.
Right.
Then you miss one light cycle. That holds you up 2 minutes.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
So anyway, I tried to drive
So-
like a semi-maniac, but not completely belligerently going on the interstate.
Okay.
And anyway, we're here.
All right. Yeah, I've been here since 5:30. Yeah.
You know what? You don't know this. You're a finalist for February Employee of the Month.
Shut up.
Yeah, and that comes with
I have never been Employee of the Month at any
Oh.
radio station I've ever worked at.
this is your month.
I have produced over the years. I've produced so much money and revenue for the radio stations I worked for.
Amazing.
With our show and the clients that I bring to the table. I have never been Employee of the Month anywhere. Zero.
Didn't the MJ Morning
Nada.
Show start in February?
Yeah, the MJ and BJ show
Yeah.
started on February 7th of 1994. That's when the MJ and BJ show began. Yes.
We should petition the president to make February MJ History Month.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, that'll go over well. All right, 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, man, we got an angry listener. I got an email at 2 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Yeah, I got an email at 2 o'clock in the morning, early this morning, from a listener that's pissed. I got to figure out if it's real or if they're, yanking my leg. So, we'll get to that. There's just a lot. Oh, and the FedEx story. I learned something about FedEx yesterday, and the neighborhood is up in arms. Seriously. I know.
What are they, steaks and,
yeah.
and torches?
I'll explain coming up. All right, hold on. We're just getting rolling. It's going to be a busy Thursday. The MJ Morning Show is on Q105, 104.7 FM.
Good morning.
6:21 at the MJ Morning Show on a, what is this, Thursday morning. Michelle in the house. Fester without his goatee in the house. I was trying to figure out yesterday, what's different about you? And then some folks sent me, got an email. I had a couple of DMs. Hey, why did Fester shave off his goatee? And I couldn't figure out exactly what was different about you, but then I realized, oh, man, Fester's minus the goatee.
Honestly, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I've done it before, but here it is.
Can I ask quickly why you decided to shave off the goatee? I'm just curious.
I don't want
to. Will you mute? Let's go. Just answer.
I don't care to disclose that.
Oh, you cut the crap. Come on. If it's just something as simple as a not, come on. Give me,
it's never as simple.
Oh, I don't.
Nothing's ever that simple with me. It's because I had an itch in my beard, and I must have had like a skin heebie-jeebie or something. I don't know. I had
my God, like impetigo?
Like once every...
Would you have ringworm under your beard?
I must have. Like once every year, I have to shave my beard to let the skin get exposed to fresh air.
Did you use some Nivea?
My wife's... I came out of the bathroom, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
I still had like a red ring of goatee around my, lips and mouth. And my wife's like, you need an ointment. And she just...
You need a salve.
I think she put like the same kind of ointment that you put on like the kid's crotch when he diaper
God.
rash stuff.
Oh my God! Really?
It healed it right up. I mean, it was gone by morning.
Well, like cortisone or something?
No, like
hydrocortisone.
Balmex.
What's the tube? Desitin. Like a medicated Desitin.
Like chapped red. Diaper rash.
Yeah.
Oh, diaper rash.
I said diaper rash, yeah.
You put diaper rash medicine on your face?
And it cleared it right up in a couple of minutes. But, I had to shave the whole thing.
It didn't clear it up in a couple of minutes.
It could be like a couple of hours. I went to bed. I went to bed with the Desitin rubbed in. I woke up, washed it off, and it was gone. So what?
Yeah, that's for diaper rash.
Listen.
I'm going to start calling you ass face.
It's nothing new.
It's the MJ Morning Show, 623. So there's this nude photo scandal, which I saw this last night while, out in my preparation universe. Oh, Preparation H. You could have put some Preparation H on you. I'm in my Preparation H universe last night.
My whole chin would have contracted.
Yeah. Listen to this. This is a woman in Oregon who's involved in like this whole nude photo situation. And this is a small town in Oregon. I would love to have you just think about this and what would you do in this situation? So this is a tiny little small town up in the Pacific Northwest. And as I tell the story, just think about if this would potentially happen where you live. What would you do? What would your reaction be? So this woman in Oregon is absolutely horrified. Horrified, I say, after she found out that a top official in this small town was responsible for spreading her nude photos all over the place. So wait a minute. All right, small town, a top official in the small town who has their hand in exposing nude photos of this woman. The woman's name is Haley Olson. Haley, she just sounds hot. Haley Olson just sounds like a cute girl's name. All right, and she is. Haley Olson is 31 years old, and she's from Canyon City, Oregon. She was arrested for the possession of marijuana while in Idaho in 2019. She told the state trooper who arrested her that she was dating an individual named Tyler Smith, who was the Grant County sheriff deputy who she had become engaged to. All right?
All right.
Follow this. So a business card was found in her car. It corroborated the story, blah, blah, blah. Olson eventually signed a form consenting to Idaho police being able to search her cell phone. Police made a copy of the contents, which later led to them dropping the charges against Olson, who owns a marijuana dispensary in Oregon. All right. When Glenn Palmer, who was the Grant County sheriff at the time, heard that Olson was arrested from someone in his office, he called the Idaho trooper who dealt with her case to request the contents of the data on her phone.
Mm.
So you guys got permission to look at the phone from the woman, and then we have somebody from the sheriff's office in the town where she lives in Oregon asking the Idaho officials, can you send us all the data from her phone?
That seems a little sketchy, right?
I initially denied. He told the trooper he wanted the file because he was curious if any of its contents could prove misconduct on Smith's part, because the suspect might be involved, or the suspect, the woman, and the deputy that she was dating could be involved in illegal activity. So that was his little plan here. But this gets the file, and among the contents of the phone were nude photos. How many times have we said on this program, don't have any nude photos. Don't take nude photos and videos. And, oh, it's just on my phone. No one's going to ever see these. Yeah, right. I mean, how many times have photos and videos leaked because people have this crap on their phones? You know, the best policy is don't have nude photos and videos of yourself or yourself with others. Don't have this crap on your phone, because then guess what? If you don't have it, it can't leak out.
This seems like a pretty isolated incident. I mean,
insulation?
Yeah.
Where the hell did you pull insulation?
I don't know.
Owens Corning Fiber?
This seems pretty isolated.
This hour of the MJ Morning Show is brought to you by Owens Corning Fiberglass Insulation. It's the pink stuff.
I think I was combining incident and situation.
Okay, insulation.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. It's a pretty unique. This incident is a unique situation, so it's an insulation.
Anyway, the file was turned over, and then you have this high official in this Oregon town, and then this stuff starts leaking out.
So the official shared it?
Yeah.
Or was it just in his office and somebody, I've heard stories of people who've had stuff like in their desk or in their personal possession that's, a coworker got a hold of and distributed. I've heard of that before.
So this Glenn Palmer, who was then the Grant County sheriff, heard about Olson's arrest. So he's the one that requested through his office that they get the file that the Idaho trooper had gotten permission to view on her phone. Almost immediately after receiving the file on a flash drive, Carpenter asked detectives from the Oregon State Police and another local sheriff's agency to look at the file, which they declined to do because there were no criminal investigations that were open. The DA eventually reviewed the file himself in April 2019, where he found nude photos of Olson and Smith. So Olson and then the deputy that works for the sheriff's office. So, I mean, all right. They found no evidence of Smith or Olson engaging in any illegal activities. Carpenter and Palmer deny spreading Olson's nudes, but the young woman argued in a lawsuit that the DA did share her photos with the sheriff, as multiple deputies mentioned to her that they had seen the photos. So how does the sheriff say, oh man, take a look at this. Look at Smith's girlfriend. Woo! Well, look at Haley. Whoa, mama.
Here in Canyon City, Oregon, I want you to know as sheriff, I review all of my deputies' wiener pictures.
Yeah, the nude photo scandal. Anyway, so this ended up in a federal lawsuit.
Yeah, it should.
The violation of our 14th Amendment rights. And anyway, the reason why I'm doing this story is just a reminder. It's just a good policy. Just don't have nude photos. Don't take nude photos. Don't take compromising videos. Oh, I want to turn my guy on, or a guy, hey, I want to turn my girl on. I want to send her something intimate and special. Don't. Just do it in person. Do it live. Because they're just, well, do it live. We'll do it live.
But the purpose is they want to memorialize it so they can, refer back to it, improve upon the previous performance.
Or, just remind you of what happened or what you're coming home. Like I sent a picture once to, Allison, right?
God, really?
And she's like,
get out of here.
She wrote back, what's up with the two belly buttons?
Stop,
We,
Fester.
Yeah.
stop.
I mean, I'm
No,
like, what do you
no,
mean?
It's a long way for that joke.
Listen, no, it wasn't. It
Oh,
wasn't
oh,
long
real-
at all.
oh, really?
It wasn't long at all.
Okay.
That's hence the 2 belly buttons.
Anyway, stop.
You got to see fat people naked
Stop,
to get
stop,
that joke.
Stop, stop,
Fester.
stop. Anyway, I whipped out that story because it's just another reminder to think twice before you take nudies or compromising videos. And it's just a public service from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. I mean, how many people listening right now have nude photos of themselves, them as a couple, of their girlfriend or wife? That's just something that I always thought was a really, really bad idea. Michelle, you've never sent me like a photo of you flashing me or anything.
Never.
You've never done that.
I'm terrified of that.
I
like,
know.
Somebody hacking your phone. But
Right.
also we have kids. So Fester, I mean,
Oh, then the
after
kids,
that particular
the kids
instance,
get into the phone.
right.
Yeah.
If they're, if you give them your phone just to use for 1 second,
Yeah.
even, what can they possibly, what little button can they push to get to that?
Somehow they figured out how to retrieve the photo and then accidentally email it to all of your contacts
Listen,
Right.
while they're playing Candy Crush.
I've
Or-
caught
or-
Hudson a dozen times just scrolling through my photos. Who's this person? Why did you
God,
take this
yeah.
picture?
Yeah.
What's
Right.
is it, whose car is that? And I'm like,
Right.
Just folks, I'm telling you right now, and there are people listening that at some point could be involved in a nudie photo scandal, and they're gonna listen. They're gonna hear my words, echo in their head. Don't do it, and should have listened to MJ back in February of 25.
Mm-hmm.
Should have listened to MJ back in 2015, 2013, 2012, 2000. We've talked about this many times over the years. 6:33 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons of the news, a great morons of the news pile next. Hey, yesterday I was at one of our new sponsors. 6:32, correction, 6:42 at the MJ Morning Show. 6:42, morons in the news. Let's go. Oh, my God. Can you imagine if you own a steakhouse and you end up getting stabbed and killed by a steak knife at your steakhouse?
It seems like some morbid irony, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was a kitchen knife, but man, this is insane. This is why we call it morons in the news. In Illinois, Waukegan, Illinois. That sounds like a place where I'd love to live. Waukegan, Illinois. Sounds like a smoking hot spot. So the owner of a steakhouse was stabbed to death inside his restaurant last weekend, Saturday night, late, after a gender reveal party went south. You're like, what?
Yeah, it went really south.
This is another one of these gender reveal deals, man. There are the gender reveal stories and the things that have gone wrong. You know what? They ought to just ban gender reveal parties and events because just bad things happen.
I gotta say, I don't care that much.
Remember the plane crash? That they had a gender reveal and the plane was doing a low pass over a whole bunch of party guests It was like a small little single-engine Cessna or something, and it was going to do a quick pass, and then it was going to stream blue smoke if it was a boy and the pink smoke if it was a girl. And it flies over the guests. It streams the smoke for the gender reveal, and then the plane loses control and crashes like 300-400 yards downstream. It's like, oh my God, the pilot was killed. And then what about the gender reveals where they start like a forest fire? We've had those stories.
We have. I mean,
yes.
Many of them have not ended well.
Oh my God. So what the hell happened at this steakhouse Saturday night during a gender reveal party? Owner of the steakhouse was stabbed and killed. His girlfriend and 2 of her sons are now in police custody. So police were dispatched to the 4114 Steaks and Seafood place. What's the name of it? 4114.
That must be the address or something, right? Like 4114 Waukegan Road or something.
It's called... No, it's in the 2100 block.
Oh.
So it's not. For whatever reason, it's called the 4114 Steaks and Seafood Restaurant. And so the cops show up Saturday night. They found Joshua Kirkwood with numerous stab wounds to his wrist, back, and right side. The 51-year-old restaurateur was pronounced dead at the scene. My God, this is another gender reveal that's gone bad. What the heck? So he was pronounced dead. So this guy, Kirkwood, owned the restaurant. According to the court documents, Kirkwood got into an argument with his girlfriend, who was a manager at his restaurant, during a gender reveal party that was being held in the basement. 2 of the women's sons, including 21-year-old Isaiah Gonzalez, got involved. Witnesses told police the woman's 16-year-old son grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed Kirkwood multiple times. The woman was also stabbed in the leg. So what the 16-year-old son, what was he, just all stabby? Stab. And accidentally got mom in the leg?
Yeah, he's slashing everybody.
What the hell? Both brothers left the restaurant. They fled after the attack. The 21-year-old Gonzalez later showed up at the Vista East Medical Center with a stab wound as well.
Everybody's been stabbed.
Police located the blood-covered knife in the kitchen of the restaurant. Oh, that's appetizing.
Ugh.
Yeah. No evidence that Kirkwood had any weapons on him. What causes a stabbing? A gender reveal party?
Well, I think they were involved to some extent. The mother worked there, the mother of the stabbers.
Yeah, well,
right.
The mother was a manager at his boyfriend's restaurant.
Yes, and she had an argument with him, and that's why they got involved.
Yeah, you get some hot-headed kids involved. You see your mom arguing with some guy who ain't your dad. You can talk to my mom that way.
Right, exactly.
You get a knife, and before you know it, somebody's dead.
That's how it sounds like it went down.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
All I have to say is, gender reveal parties at the basement of a steakhouse does not sound like the ideal place to have any kind of party, but least of all a gender reveal party.
It does sound like a horror show, doesn't it?
It does. I mean,
he died in the basement of the steakhouse.
Jeez, man. Just cancel all gender reveal parties. There's too many stories about gender reveals gone south.
So was it a boy or a girl?
Right.
We don't know.
Read all the way to the end, MJ. Yeah, does it tell you?
We just don't know.
Give me all the details. Come on, man.
We've got a local-ish story out of the Gainesville area. Did you see this woman that was taunting local sheriff's office? Catch me if you can.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Oh, what a bozo. Yeah, this is up in Alachua County. And the sheriff's office in Alachua County, they said, okay, game on. Because a woman went on social media after she shared the agency's post, that she was wanted, and then taunted Alachua County deputies to find me, catch me, arrest me. So the ACSO, which is the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, they posted on Facebook on Tuesday asking for information on the whereabouts of Quanteria Panky Aliza Richardson.
That's a beautiful name.
So her first name is Quanteria.
Yeah.
That would be Kwanteria. And I guess her nickname is Panky. 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 And then the rest of her name is Alizea, Alizeyh Richardson, 27 years old. And this Richardson, she shared a photo of her little wanted poster that they put on the Alachua County Sheriff's Office Facebook account. And she put it up, and it was like, Shadad.
No, it's shid.
Okay, shid.
Listen.
Shid.
In the
SHIDDDDD.
Shid.
And then she wrote, shid.
Shadad.
I ain't hard to find. Do your job. So she takes her mugshot and wanted poster that they put on the sheriff's office Facebook and then does, shid. I ain't hard to find. Do ya job.
I mean,
guess what? They did their job.
I mean, I agree with Quanteria here. I mean, how hard is it to hide somebody named Quanteria?
Quanteria.
With her red hair.
I mean, yeah.
You know, it seems like I want to grab the tray and the silverware, get in line at the Quanteria. You know? It's like the Piccadilly Quanteria. So,
or if it's Quanteria, it sounds more like a disease.
Yeah.
Oh, Fester.
Oh, Michelle, I have a terrible case of Quanteria.
I got some Quanteria from, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yesterday, the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, they shared a screenshot of the post, you know, and then they wrote EYYYY, Alizea Richardson, low key, you ate that, lucky for you. We are used to those who play hard to get. They offered to pick Richardson up in a custom green and white whip and take her to the best bed and breakfast in town. Anyway, so
and they also said that they have jewelry that will fit her wrists perfectly.
Yeah, I bet it's adjustable.
Yeah, they'll get her. This is what they do.
Oh, they haven't found her yet?
No. They're asking for help.
So far, Quanteria or Quanteria.
Yeah, Quanteria, whatever it is.
What was her nickname again?
Panky.
So far, Panky.
Little hanky panky.
I mean, Panky 1, Alachua County Sheriff's Office 0 on this one.
All right, so they're taunting her. They're saying, nah, we'll come get you. They're going to find her. But they are asking for anyone with information on Richardson, on Panky, to contact investigator El Mata at the Alachua County Sheriff's Office.
How about Officer Mata tracks down a couple of leads? Do your job.
Do your job.
Quanteria is right.
Shit. I ain't hard to find. Do your job.
Are you allowed to say that on the air? Is that one of the 7 words?
No. I said shit.
I know.
S-H-I-D-D-D-D-D.
Yeah, shit. I'm not saying the bad word. I'm saying shit. What about like backyard? You got that aluminum shed. I got a shed in the backyard. All right, so we'll let you know when they catch her. I originally thought that they must have had her already, but no. They're saying, we'll find you. They'll find you.
Listen, whoever reported this is a bad look for Alachua County Sheriff's Office.
All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. You know what I want to do? I want to revisit that OnlyFans story from yesterday. Remember I said we might bring it back up?
Yeah.
So we had an OnlyFans story. This is another Florida story about a mother who's pretty hot. I mean, pretty attractive. 31-year-old mother that is an OnlyFans model. And the school said, nope, you can't do this.
The school said, shit.
Somebody ratted out this 31-year-old mama who is an OnlyFans model, And you know what? I want to take some calls on this. We did this item late in the show yesterday, and I said, you know what? Maybe we ought to bring this back around, and I shall, because I want to do a quick little survey on where you, the MJ Morning Show audience, falls on a 31-year-old hot mama who's got a kid in school, and well, an incident popped up because somebody ratted her out, and the school said, nope. You can't do this. All right, hold on. We'll get to that next, and we'll grab some phone calls. So get ready to phone in and offer up your opinion on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. If it's a garage door issue. 7:01 to be precise. MJ Morning Show. MJ Fester, lovely wife Michelle in studio. I mentioned that I wanted to pick this back up. This was later in the show yesterday on the Wednesday broadcast, and I didn't have time to go to phones on this, but I said, you know what, let's pose the question again tomorrow and maybe grab some calls on this. Let me bring you up to speed quickly. It's a hot mama, a 31-year-old mother. Turns out she's an OnlyFans model. Somebody rats her out, and the school says, nope, you can't participate in certain school activities because you're an OnlyFans model. So this goes to court. And a judge here in Florida, this happened in the Orlando area, so not far away, and the judge sides with the school system. A judge rules against the hot mama here. So the Florida judge has ruled in favor of the school district. This is at Sand Lake Elementary School where this happened a couple of years back in Orange County, so Orlando area.
Yeah.
The mother, 31 years old, Victoria Treese, child attended Sand Lake Elementary School, then filed a complaint in May of 2023 after the school's principal said that she was no longer welcome to volunteer with their additions program, ADD, additions program. And the ban, the principal saying, nope, we can't have you here. This was instituted after the principal got an anonymous email containing some pretty hot pictures of Victoria Treese, the 31-year-old mother. I would imagine she's 31 now, so when this originally happened, she was late 20s. She was, what, 27 or so, 28 years old?
No, the then 31-year-old. So she was 31 when she was posting.
this does not, what I have from Wesh TV, I've got the Wesh story, which is the NBC channel in Orlando.
Sure.
They say Victoria Treese, 31, whose child attended Sand Lake, which seems to indicate she's 31 now.
Listen, her exact age doesn't matter.
All right, anyway.
Oh, I think under or over 30 is a big deal for her.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Fester.
So here's the question that I have, and this is why I wanted to bring this back up and grab some phone calls on this. Where do you stand on this? I would love to talk with you. Let's go like to the M jury. You know, the MJ jury. We'll just call it the M jury. You know, where you like that?
Mm-hmm.
The M jury. You know what? Hang on. Let me talk about the litigants entering the courtroom. Hold on a minute. I got some litigants entering the courtroom music here. Up, here we go. And oh yeah.
This is good music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the MJ jury or the M jury. Listen, I would love to get your take on this. What do you think if a mother of an elementary school kid has an OnlyFans account and there's all kinds of, nude photos of her, she's got a monthly subscription thing going on. I mean, if that's behind a paywall, and should that disqualify her from volunteering at the school where her kid is an elementary school student? Yes or no? I mean, it's not like I don't think she's going nude at school. I
don't think so.
I don't think she's soliciting dads to check out her OnlyFans page while she's at the school.
But she could be just a big distraction. And so the school's like, we don't need that.
But the other parents don't even know.
No, apparently they do, because they're the ones who ratted her out.
Well, hold on.
You think the little second grader ratted her out? I was on OnlyFans, Mom, and guess what I found? Sally's mom's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the dads who found it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to phones. Let's go to the M jury. Where do you stand on this? If there's a mother at your kid's school who is an OnlyFans model and she's doing, nude pictures, nude videos, whatever the deal, whatever she was selling, whatever wares she was selling.
Right.
Do you think that should disqualify her? Do you have a problem with another mom if she's doing OnlyFans? Do you have a problem with that mom volunteering at the school? I got to believe she didn't mix her OnlyFans
of course not.
Business model with volunteering at the school. So somebody clearly found out about it, anonymously tipped off the principal by sending a whole bunch of nude photos of her, like snaps or screenshots from the OnlyFans. But it doesn't mean that everybody knew. It didn't mean that every single parent knew.
Right. I will say, I come from a place where, remember when we went to the Mons when they were banning the six, or try to instituting this, what is it, the 6 foot?
Yeah. So back in the late
1990s. Yeah. Right before I entered law school.
The 6 foot rule. And that was a big story.
Right.
That the customers at the Tampa strip clubs had to stay 6 feet away from the dancers. So essentially, that just totally nixed the lap dance.
So, but remember, we had those hearings downtown, and
let me just point out that Michelle, who is going into law school, or were you already?
No, I was getting ready to go to law school.
And then Michelle's like, "What is this 6 foot rule all about?" And then.
So we go to the Mons.
I think you said, well, let's go to the Mons. I want to see this.
I want to see, because you know why? I stayed up to watch the hearings to see who was coming out and what they were saying.
I'll never forget. So we walk up to the Mons, and we went with friends of yours, right?
No, some other friends of ours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to mention. Oh, she's waving me off here.
Don't mention
the friends.
Don't mention Jim and Betty.
But it was Michelle and me, and then
another couple.
A friend of yours, and I think their boyfriend at the time, whatever. And as we were walking into the Mons Venus, Tom Rivers from QIK was walking out.
Yeah, he was.
Remember Tom Rivers? He was a great guy though.
Fester's not surprised.
Yeah. Tom Rivers, who did mornings on QIK for years back in like the late 80s and 90s.
He was about to explode.
Yeah, he was walking out of the Mons as we were walking in, and we're like, "Hey," he's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What are you doing here?" We're doing research.
Yeah,
my
doing research.
My law school wife wants to know what this 6 foot rule's all about. Yeah. All right, let's go to phones. 800. Let me just give out the number real quick. 800-990-1047. Where do you stand? Should this mom be barred from participating and volunteering at her kid's elementary school because she has an OnlyFans account? Yes or no? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. All right, Andrew's got some screened. Screen the rest. Michelle, you wanted to finish up?
I was just going to say one of the speakers at the council meetings really resonated with me and obviously stuck with me. It was a young woman, and she got up and she looked very, she was well dressed. She had jeans and a nice shirt on and some glasses. And she said she goes to school in the daytime while her children are at school. But the only way that she can do that is then she dances at night to be able to afford that. Her mom takes care of the kids overnight.
Yep.
And I thought, wow, you really don't know what people have to do, right, to make a living. So I feel conflicted about it, because if this is what this woman feels like she has to do to make a living, that's unfortunate for her. But I guess, she's not entitled to the right to volunteer. And if the school decides that it's either a distraction or they don't want, maybe she's done some other things and, that's just not part of the story.
We've had a woman call this show in the past, participating in whatever we were asking about. And somehow it came up that she was driving her kids to school, or she had just dropped her kids off from school. And then we found out that she's an adult dancer at, local club. And so you just never know. All right, let's go to phones on this. 800-990-1047. Should 31-year-old mommy be barred from volunteering at her kid's elementary school because she has an OnlyFans adult account where she's peddling whatever she's peddling? Yes or no? Where do you fall on this? 800-990-1047. Oh, this is great. Christy is in Ruskin, and Christy apparently is a high school teacher. Welcome, Christy.
Hi. I absolutely side with the school board, because you have to be background checked if you're working with anybody in a school. Teachers have to side. Basically, we would absolutely get fired for that. That is an ethics clause violation. So, and nobody has to do anything. I mean, come on. Like, I had plenty of opportunities in college to put myself through college, being a stripper. Did I do it? No.
Hold on, Christy. You had opportunities to put yourself through college, seeking your education degree, working as a stripper?
Many offers for that. Yeah, I got many offers for that.
Really?
And I could have taken the easy way out.
I want to see a picture of Christy now.
I don't know.
I just got the side eye from Michelle. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Christy.
I worked 3 jobs to put myself through school and worked at a factory. So I'm going to call BS on that. So, no, I absolutely side with the school board. It's an ethics violation, and if they can see nude photos of her, that if high school kids can see it, elementary school kids can too. You'd be surprised what they can pull up on their phones.
Yeah, Christy, what do you teach? What subject matter?
I teach English-related area. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic. And how long have you been teaching, Christy?
32 years.
Wow.
Teaching for a long
Christy,
time.
have you known anybody that had an OnlyFans account? Do you know anyone that's...
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Who? Listen, don't be specific, but who have you known that has an OnlyFans account and sells their stuff online?
I would rather not say.
No, I'm not saying like...
But it would be super telling if I did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
Was it a colleague?
Yeah, I mean, was it another teacher?
No.
Was it the principal's assistant?
No.
The janitor?
But just know that
What?
any kind of ethics violation, the school can fire you for that.
Christy.
It could be even I've seen people fired for way more minor things than that.
Wow.
Was it the lunch lady?
Definitely not. It was not.
Oh, man. Hot hair nets.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's a great website.
Oh, yeah.
Buy it right now.
Yeah, maybe
Fester,
not.
see if Hot Hair Nets is available from GoDaddy.
All right.
HotHairNets.com.
Oh, Christy, that's so hot. Oh,
Bye,
the lunch
Christy.
lady.
Have a great day, Christy.
Especially on Salisbury Steak Day.
Bye.
Thanks for checking in. Look, so she knows someone that's doing OnlyFans right now. Robert's in Palm Harbor. Robert, what do you do with the mommy?
MJ, first of all, I love your show, but I got to tell you this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I got a quick short story to tell you. When I moved down here 25 years ago, single father, I had custody of my kids. I was in an apartment. My kids...
Tell you what, Mom must have been a real handful then.
No, well, yeah, she was. But anyway, my kids met some other kids, all right? And then I met the other kid's mom, okay? And for a while, I had no idea. She was awesome. Very good mother. She would take my kids with her kids to the park, do all kinds of things with them, dress appropriately and everything. Later on down the road, I found out she was a stripper. Did it bother me? Absolutely not. She was totally professional about it. So, I think this day and age, it's kind of like you got to mind your own business. I mean, they're just getting too deep into people's lives on this kind of stuff, I mean, she's not doing anything to the school. It's the school out seeking out her. and somebody found out. So now they got to bring this all up. And, that doesn't mean she's a bad person.
I don't think anybody's saying she's a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're saying that the ethical standards of her side gig on OnlyFans disqualifies her from volunteering on certain levels at the school. Robert, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Hey, one of the things I didn't get to share yesterday from the Victoria Treese, this 31-year-old mom over in Orange County in Orlando, she told Channel 2, West TV, NBC Orlando, the reason that I even started OnlyFans was because I didn't want a 9 to 5. I wanted to still be involved. I went through a crazy breakup. I wanted to still go to school with them and be with them 24/7 and be as involved in their lives as I could without being away from them. They're everything to me.
Of course. What else is a mother going to say? Okay, fine. We get that.
But the court found in summary judgment, it wasn't even a jury trial, it was summary judgment, that they don't have a guarantee that they have to be accepted as a volunteer.
It's not a right.
Yeah,
You sort of apply for the position.
Exactly. All right, back to phones here. How about Jennifer, Apollo Beach? Jennifer, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What's your verdict here in the M jury?
My verdict is I don't think the school system should have a right to tell her she can't volunteer. She didn't sign a contract to be of the standards of not showing her body.
All right, so if
All
she's
doing
got
is
got a
volunteer.
smoking hot OnlyFans page, you're okay with her still volunteering at the school?
Absolutely. I was an exotic dancer for 20 years.
Oh, but look
and I
at
was
this.
really upset.
Hold on, Jennifer, you were an exotic dancer for 20 years?
Yep, put myself through college.
Wow. Did you work locally or did you work in some other state?
California.
Wow. How much money did you make as an exotic dancer?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, over 20 years, I should hope so.
Wow.
I mean,
Look at this. See, I'm getting a call from experience here. Jennifer, you don't mind me asking, you don't have to be specific. What do you do now?
I'm in law.
You're in law?
Yes.
Are you a lawyer?
I am not, but I do criminal investigation.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Jennifer, great call. Thank you very much. I mean, so we have the perspective of a former 20-year exotic dancer. Wow. How about Evan, Bowling Green? Evan, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. I've got a few comments here. First off, I have a lot of respect for teachers, and this isn't just towards, teachers. This is for anyone, but this teacher that is judging this woman and saying,
Well, it's the principal. The principal pulled the plug on her volunteerism.
no. I'm talking about the caller.
Oh.
A teacher.
Oh, gotcha.
And she's saying, she didn't have to do this. You know what? You don't know this lady from nowhere, so you don't know her circumstances. You don't know what she's gone through in life. So she has no business saying to another person that she doesn't know, she didn't have to do this, and I worked 3 jobs. That has nothing to do with you. You don't have the right to judge a person. And here's the second comment. Okay, if you're going to come down on this lady, as long as she's not bringing that content around children. Or
Yeah, like she's not stripping and shooting content in the classroom like next to the globe.
Now, if you're going to judge this lady, so then let's judge all the people that looked at her content. Now they're just as guilty as
Right.
the one producing.
You looked at an OnlyFans account. You can't volunteer at the school, you pervert. Hey,
Well,
thank you.
I think that's a valid point because we don't know what's going on in anybody else's homes.
Betty in St. Pete. Betty, you're on the MJ Morning Show. I got to do these quickly. Betty, go ahead.
Yes, I agree with that last gentleman. And the other woman who said, well, she could work 3 jobs. Well, she's trying to stay home with her children.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose.
Yep.
So she's making a lot more money. It's none of anybody else's business. Now, if she was a teacher, that might be a different subject. She's only a volunteer and wants to be with her children.
Betty, thanks for the call. Quickly, Sunny in Tampa. Sunny, MJ Morning Show. Go.
Yeah. We can have drag queens come into our schools and read to our children, but a woman that's doing a private account, no, in her own home can't join her children at school?
Got you loud and clear, Sonny. Thank you. All right, Stephen, last call on this. Stephen, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, how's it going?
How are things at Riverview this morning? Nice, pleasant?
Yeah,
All right,
it's nice. Just
all
heading to work now.
right.
I have full respect for teachers. I mean, especially being a single mom too, and especially with like budget cuts and stuff for teachers right now. I mean, if they want a second job doing something else on the side, go for it. I mean, being a single mom, it's as tough as it is. You know, being a teacher as well. It's a lot of them, you know.
Thank you, Stephen. Riverview. All right, one more. Andrew says, I got to get Cheryl. Cheryl in St. Pete, you'll be the last call. Sharon, go ahead. Cheryl, go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to call. I'm in recovery. So I'm just
Hold on, you're in recovery for what?
from narcotics, from drugs.
Okay, what was your favorite drug? What were you on?
I was on just about anything and everything.
Oh my God! All
But
right,
it's been 14 years almost.
congratulations.
Thank you very much. But I wanted to say my perspective is 6/10 of the women that I know have.
Did you say 6/10?
Yes.
That's very
You
specific.
have
Very
to think
specific.
about this for a second. There's a lot of mothers that have children that are they don't have an education, and it's a way for them to make money. Once they get clean, they start getting their education and they start getting better jobs. But I thought it was very insensitive for that woman that called to be so judgmental against other women. It is not so easy for everybody in the world to get just any job that suits the hours when you're a single parent.
I appreciate the call, Cheryl. If you don't mind me asking, I'm up against the clock. What was your number one drug? What did you use the most?
Methamphetamine.
Wow. All right. You got all your teeth?
No, I don't, but they're still my teeth.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking my call.
Cheryl, thank you, and congratulations on your 14 years in recovery.
And keeping most of your teeth.
Right, all right. 7:21 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. The FedEx horror story. Oh, my. FedEx, this was all the buzz in my neighborhood yesterday. FedEx is doing what? And apparently it just started? And also, I've got a very angry email. Angry listener blaming me for losing $48,000. Hang on. That's next, and a whole lot more, obviously, because we have an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next here on Q105, 104.7 FM, The Holland Group. 7 at the MJ Morning Show. 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ starts right now. All right. The FedEx situation in my neighborhood. An angry email. Oh, let me do those first. And then got a little add-on here. Something that Michelle remembered. You know, if you were listening in the last segment, we were talking about the OnlyFans story where this 31-year-old mother was barred from volunteering at an Orlando area elementary school because the principal was sent photos of her and her OnlyFans account. All kinds of nudies were sent to the principal. So the principal said, no, you can't volunteer at the school anymore. And the woman took it to court, and in summary judgment, judge in Orlando said, nope, they can bar you. So Michelle has an interesting little twist, something that happened to us. So we'll get to that here in just a second. All right, the angry email here at 7:28. And thanks for listening, folks. We're giving you an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ. So just nonstop content for the next hour and 20 minutes. What are you snickering at over there?
I'm sorry. Our last caller in the last segment.
Yeah.
You asked her if she had all of her teeth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm just going through some of my personal texts.
Right.
And a friend of mine sent a text in that said MJ should ask every caller if they still have their teeth.
Well, because
That's a great idea.
Because the caller said that she's 14 years in recovery,
Right, I get
and
that.
that her number one drug. I asked her, hey, what was the drug? She said, first of all, that she did everything.
Right.
So if it was a drug, she was doing. But then at the end of the call, I said, what was your most used drug? And she said methamphetamine. And, you know, meth addicts, you know, they get the sores and scabs all over their face, and a lot of meth addicts will lose their teeth. All right, so that's...
We should make it a habit to ask callers, thank you for calling, do you have all your
have
teeth?
all your teeth. All right. So the angry emailer, I've got to figure out, is this real or are they putting me on? I mean, all right, let me just read the email and then maybe you can decide. This comes in this morning at 1:57:57. So I saw this morning at, 4:45 this morning. I'm checking my email at home.
What a strange time to be angry at us.
Sarah without an H. Sarah, no H. She writes me at mj@mjmorningshow.com. Angry email, folks. Sarah.
Sing it, baby. Oh, yeah.
So Sarah sends me an email at 1:57:57 this morning. Subject line, disappointed and extremely upset. Okay, that got my attention.
I'll click that.
All right, that got my attention. Before I brush my teeth, I got to read this thing here. So Sarah writes, I have been on vacation since last Friday, and I've listened to your egg test just before I got on my flight. I have been in Vegas, and because of your excellent record with the egg test, I went to one of the casinos, and don't ask me why, but I used a line of credit from my house to put $48,000 down on Kansas City. Of course, a little bit of alcohol was involved. I just was in shock watching the game. I'm calling you guys every name in the book. We got back today and was talking to my best friend, and your show came up, and I said I was never listening to you guys again.
Wow.
She asked why, and I said I put a small bet down, too embarrassed to tell her the truth. And she said, oh, my God, you didn't hear them and how they redid the test? ? MJ, Todd, whatever you want to be called, in all caps. You cost me $48,000. I realize that maybe that's a month's salary for you, but not me.
Half a month.
Maybe, a couple of years back, but not anymore. Yeah, the well-paid radio days are over. This is a charity. I'm like a volunteer doing this show every morning.
Why don't you get an OnlyFans page so they kick you out?
Radio's not the same anymore. I think it's costing me money to do this show every day, to be quiet. I think in gas money. I'm losing money doing this show with all the gas money coming back and forth, across the bridge and everything. All right. So she says, quote, "You cost me $48,000. I realize that maybe that's a month's salary for you, but not for me. How could you do a messed up test and not redo it immediately? My faith in you has been lost. Sarah," with an exclamation point. Sarah.
Does Sarah leave a number or anything?
No. I have Sarah's Gmail address.
That does us no good. Come on, Sarah. All right, so we're a 4-hour radio show.
Yeah.
And the show represents itself in its entire form. If it's your fault, you just listen to 20-minute segments.
Listen.
And you don't get the whole show. I can't be blamed for that.
But essentially, immediately after the egg test results, we determined that Fester effed it up.
Yeah, there wasn't a delay. We knew I screwed it up. Well, no, I'm sorry. We knew the functionality of the microwave in collaboration with my idiocy was happening during the test. We acknowledge.
Can you rephrase that in an English language sentence that I can understand?
I refuse to take 100% blame for this. I will take like 40% blame.
Whatever.
60% blame has to go to the functionality of the microwave. We knew while it was
100% your fault.
No.
You didn't have the glass circular tray seated on top of the revolver, so it never revolved. So the eggs sat static in the microwave. They weren't spinning, and we had the eagle's egg blow up first. But then the minute we opened it up, it was yes, Andrew. Yes,
you were there watching it be put together and didn't say anything.
All right, shut up.
Yeah.
The supervisory has at least 10 to 15% fault.
I mean, listen, MJ, if you have 5% fault, I have 40% fault.
You have
55% fault is the function. Listen, I was at a bad angle. I couldn't see inside the microwave.
One job.
The video clearly shows
one job. A first grader could have done this. One job. Put the eggs in the microwave. Make sure that the tray is seated in the center of the microwave on top of the little revolving plastic spinner.
This is insane.
No, it's not insane.
I was standing behind the microwave.
You tell that to Sarah. All right.
Sarah.
Lost $48,000 in Vegas.
Whoa.
Sarah.
All right. So,
gonna have her house repossessed.
But immediately, while the eggs are still cooking, we acknowledge there's an issue.
Well, I guess foreclosed upon. Yes.
I said the eggs aren't spinning. And then we even said, we have an issue. And then we immediately took calls. I mean.
Anyway, so Sarah, I think your friend told you. All right, first of all, do I believe this email? I mean, is she putting me on? I mean, I'm a pretty good judge of when I'm getting yanked.
I completely believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a yank email. But anyway.
Why'd you have to go to Vegas? Did the Seminole Hard Rock not give house loans?
I'm sorry. I'm not up to speed on our travel plans.
I don't know.
Right, now, here's the deal, though. We immediately determined that this was screwed up and that we had to redo the egg test. And then we redid the test again at 9 o'clock. So the botched up Fester fail was at about 7:55, 8 o'clock-ish on the Friday before Super Bowl, a week ago tomorrow. And we redid the test at 9 o'clock, and that's where we had the tray revolving properly with the Chiefs egg and the Eagles egg. And that time, when everything was functioning properly, the Chiefs egg blew up. So that was it. It was determined. And we, again, spot on that the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl because the Eagles' egg survived when the test was properly performed and Fester didn't F it up. Only thing that could have effed up that more is if there was a little mini turkey fryer inside the microwave.
There's a little Gonzalez plumbing van off to the side.
A little Matchbox, little Hot Wheels Gonzalez plumbing van with a little mini turkey fryer.
All right, listen.
Oh, that's a great little diorama to create.
It's a
Let's do that.
diorama.
And in reality, I only take 20% of the blame for that. That was a functionality error as well. But MJ, listen, we acknowledged during the test that something was afoot.
Duh. We said we're going to redo it, and we did. All right, listen, Sarah.
I just wanted to say afoot.
All right, Sarah, I'm sorry if you lost 48 grand. I don't know if I'm believing this email. I wish you would have put your cell phone. Sarah, are you listening? Sarah, are you listening? Call me now, Sarah. Call me. 800-990-1047. Sarah, call me. So Sarah that sent me the angry email, call us right now, 800-990-1047.
Are you going to offer to reimburse her? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I'll give me I'll wire you the money out of our bank account.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll reimburse her. Yeah, I don't know if I'm, but anyway, the email's very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But Sarah, if you're listening, listen, if she sent me the email at 2 a.m., you think she's up right now at 7:38?
She's probably on such a long bender.
800-990-1047. I don't know. Sarah, if you're listening, and don't try to fake it, because I'm going to quiz the individual that calls. If they do call claiming they're Sarah, I'm going to, I have a way to authenticate whether the call is real.
Ha fool you, people.
All right, let me know, Andrew, if Sarah calls in. So I got the FedEx story, which developed yesterday. And I shot a video on this, and I put 6 o'clock last night, I put up a video. So I posted this yesterday on my Instagram, and this is insane. I'm coming back to the house after the show yesterday. I had to stop at a new client. So I stopped at CMK Construction over off of West Hillsboro to go to their whole design center. So CMK Construction is a new sponsor on the show, and they do kitchen and bath remodels. They're doing a lot of hurricane restoration work still for people that had, major damage. So this is a big kitchen and home and bathroom restoration company. They got a gorgeous showroom. They do amazing work. So I went over there to shoot a couple of videos for our website, and I come home yesterday, and my neighbors stopped me. I'm driving up the street. I'm like 4 or 5 houses away, and, we all know each other on the street. And I've got one neighbor on his driveway, the other neighbor who's a good friend who lives across the street. They're both in the driveway, and they waved me down. And I roll down the window, and they say, "Hey, has FedEx just been dumping your packages in the middle of your driveway?" I'm like, I don't know. We've got a whole gate and everything, and they'll leave it at the gate, or they'll put it over the gate.
Right.
Is what the package deliveries, Bobby, our great UPS guy, the FedEx guy, I don't know. I know the Express guy. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
We
the
have a couple different.
I don't know ground runs separately than Express. So they say, "Hey, is FedEx?" So he says, "Look," and he points to his driveway, and there's a box. There's a box in the middle of the freaking driveway. And he says, "Yeah, I'm sort of in the garage," and the FedEx guy just throws this like 10 feet up the driveway, right off the street. They just put the box in the middle of the driveway. So my neighbor sees this and goes out to the FedEx guy and says, "Hey, whoa, hold on a minute. What are you doing?" Because they always bring the box up to the front porch.
Right.
Yeah, it's always been the way.
And then even sometimes give you a little doorbell ring to let you know, "Hey, we're here. We just dropped something off."
Right.
So the FedEx ground guy says to my neighbor, "Nope, new policy. We're not required to bring it up to the house anymore, or we're not bringing the packages up to your front door anymore. We're just dumping them in the driveway." So if you were pulling home, the package is like 5, 8, 10 feet up your driveway, middle of the driveway. So you got to get out of your car, or else you'll run over your package. But the other thing is FedEx, if this is really a new policy, are they making it even easier for porch pirates? They don't even have to walk up to your front door to steal packages? Now, FedEx Ground making it even more convenient for porch pirates to steal your package because it's only a couple of feet up the driveway, right in the middle.
Yeah, if the porch pirate actually waited in front of my house, would the FedEx driver just put it directly in their car? That would make it easier for the porch pirate.
So here's what I want to know. Do you work for FedEx? Has this happened to you? So what my neighbors were told is this is a brand new policy. It just started. That FedEx is not bringing the package to your front door anymore. They're just dumping it in the driveway. So guess what? As I'm pulling up the street past their houses, the FedEx truck is coming at me. So the FedEx truck is leaving the neighborhood after turning around, and he passes by, and then I notice right across the street from us, Michelle, our neighbors our driveways are completely opposite each other. I then see that they've got a box in the middle of their freaking driveway as well. And all their boxes have always been put up on their front porch because our neighbor across the street, they got a lot of packages.
True.
They got like 8 a day or something.
True.
So they got a lot. And I'm like, what the heck? So as I'm pulling up, I pull into our driveway, and then our neighbor across the street is, believe it or not, is right behind me going into they couldn't pull into the driveway because they had a big, heavy box just dumped right in. So something happened. Yesterday was Wednesday. It seems like Tuesday they were bringing your packages up to the front door, and then yesterday, Wednesday, boop, all done. We're FedEx. We're just dumping our packages on your driveway. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to ask our callers. I want to ask our listeners. Did this happen in your neighborhood as well? Did FedEx stop bringing packages to your front door like yesterday or recently? The driver told our neighbors, nope, we're not doing packages to the front door. We're just dumping them in your driveway. It's like, why even get out of the truck? Just chuck it right out the door into your driveway. All right, 800-990-1047. Has this happened to you, or are there any FedEx ground people? Now, remember, FedEx has 2 different arms. You've got FedEx Express, which is like the overnight packages. Those are FedEx employees. FedEx Ground, those are like contractors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those are not FedEx employees. Those services are contracted out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that it was when FedEx bought like Roadway Express or whatever that RPS, whatever, years ago, and they got into the ground business to compete with UPS. Oh my! Look at the phones. Every line. Oh, my. All right, we're going to go to phones here in a second. 800-990-1047. Andrew, hurry up, screen these things. But something happened. But if this is true, the incidents of porch piracy and theft are going to skyrocket. It's like they're making it easier for the thief to grab the package.
Right.
They barely have to get out of their car now to grab your package.
They could just drive down the street behind the mailman and or the FedEx man, and as they're dropping it, just
pick it up.
A lot of times, the Ring doorbell would pick people up on the porch ripping off a package.
Right.
If it's all the way down the driveway, it might not get it now.
A little grainy image of a person just walking up to the end of your driveway, taking your box and going.
Lisa in Tampa. Lisa, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, good morning. I live in South Tampa, driving down Church Street near Neptune.
Yep.
And saw the next guy drop a giant J. Crew box. It was barely over the sidewalk in their driveway. And I wanted to stop and be like, doesn't that go? I mean, like it clearly is J. Crew box.
Yeah. So when did you see this, Lisa?
Pardon me? Oh, God, within the last 7 days.
Yeah. So something's happened. Now, in our neighborhood, it was noticed yesterday. But this is recent. What is going? So they just dumped a Mark J. Crew. That screams steal me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he had to cross the street to get to. He didn't even park in front of the house. He was going northbound. He had to cross the street to go to the west side of church.
Wow.
And I was just shocked.
It's not exactly.
I checked to make sure it was really FedEx. I thought maybe it was one of the part-time drivers. or
Yeah, but they had a FedEx truck, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. All right, hey, Lisa, thanks for the call. Mark is in San Antonio. Mark, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
How you doing? I was out there off of Ayers Road yesterday, out towards Brooksville.
Yep.
I started to pass a person's house and I seen the FedEx driver jumping their fences, going out there where their cows and horses were at.
Right.
And he had a box in his hand.
So he's going the extra
Now,
mile.
This is like probably a good 1,000 feet from these people's houses.
Wow. Okay, so that's a different take on it. Mark, thank you. Chris in Lakeland. Chris, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
BK Mel. Sorry, that was just for Michelle. How you doing?
Yes. Nice,
Oh my
Chris.
God.
That's awesome.
Oh, no.
Phone bomb.
I got to tell you, you got to come over to Lakeland. It's wonderful. Nirvana over here, man. They come, they ding on your doorbell, they wave to you, the whole ball of extra packages right up by the door. There's nothing in my driveway.
So what's going on? In South Tampa yesterday, the driver told the neighbors they are no longer bringing packages to the front door. They're just dumping them in the beginning of your driveway.
Holy crap.
Yes.
That's absurd, man.
All right. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. All right.
He seems a little surprised.
800-990-1047. All the lines are ringing again. So I've got some on hold, and all the lines have opened up. They're already ringing, and Andrew's rescreening. I need to get a definitive answer here. Does anyone work for FedEx Ground? Does anyone know what's going on? Or did this happen to you, that suddenly they're dumping packages at the beginning of your driveway? All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Rusty in Largo. Yeah, Rusty, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ, how you doing?
Doing well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get my packages delivered on the side of my house all the time. I live on a corner, and they don't even ring the doorbell. They don't do anything. They just stick it on the side of the house, and they drive by. I mean, it's like they throw the package out, and it hits the door, and it just bounces down on the ground, and that's it.
All right, well,
It's just going on the scavenger hunt, you know.
all right.
And then they take a picture. They say, "Oh, we delivered your package." Well, where's it at? You know,
Right,
then
yeah,
you have
right.
to go looking for it.
Trying
you know?
to find it. Thanks, Rusty. Mike is in North Carolina. Mike, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, good morning, MJ. Yeah, it's happened to me 3 times. I live in North Carolina, as you said, and I've got a really long driveway. One time they delivered it down at the end of the driveway, but way from my house, so I let it go. Next time they delivered it literally in my front yard. We have a camera out front. I saw them just literally open the side door, kick it out the truck. It's all 3 times it's been Chewy that they're delivering.
Yeah.
And then the last time, then when I finally called and complained, they literally put it at the driveway. I mean, at the beginning of the driveway. Part of it was in the road.
Yeah, see, that's a problem. Thank you. I really appreciate you phoning in
Yeah,
from
well, I
that.
finally called to talk to a supervisor. It stopped since then, so hopefully it's
Gotcha.
no more problems.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to thank you, but I'm trying to figure out if this is a new policy that just started, at least here in the Tampa area. Andrew, I'm going to wrap this up in a second, but Andy in St. Pete. Andy, do you have something to add here?
Yeah, my roommate's a FedEx driver, and she's in Pinellas, and she said that's absolutely not their policy.
Did you just ask them now?
Yeah, I just called her this morning.
So what the hell was this driver in South Tampa telling our neighbors he's just a lazy...
Yes.
You know what it is?
That's what
MJ?
I think.
There's regions, there's groups or troops of drivers, right? Probably for this one, they're like, hey, listen, to get our numbers up, because I'm sure they're tracked deliveries per hour.
Yeah.
You know, to get our numbers up, let's just leave the packages, you know. So it's not nationwide company policy, but maybe like at the morning meeting.
Just don't know.
The second assistant manager said, guys, let's just drop them at the curb.
All right. Hey, Andrew, I got to move on. But all the calls on hold, tell them thank you, but I got to move on. I just wanted to bring this up. But it was definitive that this FedEx Ground driver said, nope, we're not bringing them to the door anymore. We're just dumping them on your driveway. Anyway, so hopefully we'll get more information on this. All right, going back quickly, just something that Michelle remembered, and this has to do with the OnlyFans story.
Right.
So if you missed it, we talked about it late in the show yesterday. We just did it again around 7 o'clock. We took a bunch of phone calls when a 31-year-old mother was barred from volunteering at her kid's elementary school over in Orlando because it was discovered that she was an OnlyFans model.
Right.
And that somebody sent the principal of the elementary school an email with like snaps of all the nudes and the content that this mother with a kid at the elementary school had on the OnlyFans website. And the principal barred her from participating in certain volunteer activities at the school because of her OnlyFans account. And Michelle just remembered something that happened when our kids were at school.
Right. So we had a member of our community who was in the adult entertainment business. And when they joined our community, of course, it was all the buzz around, the campus and everything.
All right. So, listen, I'm just going to say this was at Shorecrest.
Correct.
So this was at Shorecrest in St. Pete. We lived in South Tampa, but our kids went to Shorecrest. It's just a quick ride over the bridge. And thank you to Michelle for driving the kids to school.
Thank you, Michelle.
And picking them up every single day.
Fun times.
For all of those years. So back to the situation at Shorecrest. What year was this? Is a while ago. What is this?
Well, they're both graduated from high school.
Yeah,
So this is when they were in elementary and
so what is this,
middle.
like 2007, 2009?
Yeah, 2010 probably.
2010. All right, so
11.
let's say 15 years ago.
Yeah. So, this family joins our community and then it becomes the buzz around town what they, do for their business. But every school has to do those fundraisers and you want that money. Do you really care where it comes from? And normally the person would put if you were going to donate, you would probably put the MJ Morning Show because you would promote your business.
Right.
So this family wanted to donate something. You were always looking for sponsorship opportunities, structures, playground equipment, scoreboards. And so this family sponsored the scoreboard, but they obviously could not put the name of their adult entertainment business up there.
So the family donates the money for a new scoreboard.
Oh, we needed one so badly.
On the football field.
Yes.
And it turns out that the husband, his business was like a series of pornographic websites.
Well, it was a very popular adult entertainment.
I don't want to give out.
I'm not giving out the name.
Yeah, I don't want to give out.
By the way, they don't own it anymore.
Oh, they don't. How do you know?
Because I looked it up to make sure that I had the information.
Oh, he sold
correct.
it?
Yes, it's been sold.
Okay.
But
he ran a very popular.
I mean, this is like the before OnlyFans. This was probably the most popular.
Did they
amateur? It was an amateur fetish website.
Whoa, is this Craig from Craigslist?
I love hearing my wife say amateur fetish website. Yeah,
I know you do.
Did they think that by donating the money for the scoreboard that the pornographic website was going to be put on the scoreboard as the sponsor?
No, in fact, I because I looked this up again and I reminded myself, he makes a point of whenever he was doing interviews or involved with any kind of publication that had to do with the business, he never let his last name get published.
Oh, wow.
So that it would never be associated with the business.
Wow.
Yes.
Are they still around, this family? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I mean, if he sold it, he probably made a ton of money. Why would he still live here?
Yeah. Seriously, why would anybody with a lot of money live in Florida? Yeah. It's
it's
a real keen
he could live
observation.
anywhere.
Are you wearing your Apple Watch? All wrong. If you rely on your Apple Watch for exercise, now my kids have Apple Watches, so Chloe wears why is Chloe getting a rash from her Apple Watch?
Apparently, that's a big problem.
So Chloe.
Yeah.
Chloe's getting a rash from her app. Is that a materials problem or?
I think it's a breathability problem. You put that little screen on your skin. If any moisture gets trapped under there,
dude,
really?
it's a watch. That would be the same with most. I wear a watch every single day. I wear a mechanical watch. So here's the deal.
I don't know.
So Chloe wears an Apple Watch. Julian has an Apple Watch, but I've kind of gotten Julian more into a nice mechanical watch. Julian is understanding the pleasures of great horology.
Created a nerd.
Yeah, and don't wander. Horology. It's HORO. It's the science of watches, horology, and all right. So the Apple Watch, if you're using it to keep track of exercise stats, are you doing this all wrong? There are people that are saying that the Apple Watch on your wrist is not the place to wear it for your exercising stats.
What, you wear it on your thigh?
Close.
Really?
Close.
Yeah, if you're a male, you wear it. You strap it on. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Your ankle.
Yeah.
Michelle, did you know this?
I read this the other day.
Oh, so
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are saying that if you really want to get accurate statistics as far as number of steps, and there's an example here of a person saying that the steps were so far off when the Apple Watch was worn on the wrist compared to when it was worn on the ankle. First of all,
do they judge it by like arm swings or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
do you have to get like a strap extension to put it on your ankles? Your ankle is larger than your wrist.
You have to go to like a police supply store for those ankle monitors. You put your Apple Watch on that.
But some of these watches, they have like extender straps. Or I think
some of them are Velcro as well.
Well, I guess it depends what strap
Which
you have.
Right.
But this is a whole discussion that you get these fitness wackos.
Excuse me. Come on, that's being a little harsh.
Yes, I walk and exercise every single day. So
just because you choose not to track.
Am I a No, I have the Fitbit. I start the Fitbit on. I don't have the Fitbit watch, but I've got the Fitbit app. So I've got the Fitbit app, so it keeps track. The GPS of my.
I bet you that's very inaccurate.
You think so? On my phone? You think it is? But here's the deal: they're saying do not wear the Apple Watch. You're wearing it all wrong if you're exercising and it's on your wrist. And an example here. Let me give you before I move on. Let me give you like hard facts here. Let me give you a hard example. This individual says she took 2 10-minute walks around Target. So this woman around a Target store took 2 10-minute walks around a Target superstore, once with the Apple Watch on the wrist while pushing the shopping cart, and then the second time, the watch, she stuffed it into her sock to determine the best placement for precision. When the watch was on my wrist and I kept my hand on the cart, it ended up calculating 91 steps in 10 minutes, which clearly is ridiculously low. When she put the watch in her sock and it was on her ankle, it calculated 835 steps in 10 minutes.
Wow.
But that was probably the real accurate number.
Right.
So you got all these, this is a whole movement now that if you're wearing an Apple Watch, you got to wear it around your ankle and not on your wrist, according to the experts. All right, Fester.
Yes.
You sent me this item last night. I also saw this particular story, and I'm in the same boat with you.
Okay.
How could they possibly know? How could they possibly track this person? And you know what? If I were this person, I'd be testing this like a game.
Every day.
Oh, my God. This would be a game for me.
I'd be like,
oh, catch me if you can.
I've done it again.
Foiled Walmart again. Yes, it has to do with Walmart. This woman.
And she's not a good person.
Right. So this woman's a bad woman. Bad woman.
I mean,
even her mugshot is bad. So this woman in Tennessee. This woman in Tennessee is a serial shoplifter. And she has now been banned from every Walmart in the United States.
Who rendered that decision?
Walmart court. Clarence Walmart. Yes, exactly. So here's the deal. How do you monitor this? How do you enforce this? So this woman, Ashley Cross, 37 years old, has now been banned from every Walmart in the United States of America because of her history of ripping them off every which way. And now she's been banned. Memphis police confirmed that Walmart has banned her from every Walmart in the entire country.
Do they have that authority? Does anybody have that authority?
Well, listen, Walmart, a private business, can say, yes, you're banned from all of our stores. But again, how do you enforce this? If I'm Ashley Cross, and listen, I don't condone her behavior. I think she's like a total POS. She's just a horrific human being, a serial shoplifter.
She could be a lovely person for all we know, but she has sticky fingers.
I got to be honest. It's like I want to see Ashley go to Walmarts in Virginia, Florida, Texas, Georgia, Utah.
Memphis, it's on the Mississippi River right across from Arkansas. Why don't you just cross the bridge and go to West Memphis Walmart and see if you can't get in?
I mean, it's not like when they ban a passenger from an airline where you have to put your name and everything.
Yeah,
in.
well, that's trackable.
Right.
You know, if you have to buy a ticket, you're going to be on a no-fly list. That's easily trackable if you're banned on an airline,
right?
Or you're on the no-fly list. That's determinable. But if she gets in a car and drives 2 states over and decides she's going to go into Walmart, how are they going to enforce you've got a lifetime ban from all Walmarts everywhere?
What if she wants to internet shop?
Yeah, right. Her Walmart Plus membership has been revoked.
Right.
Yeah, she's not walking in Memphis. No, she's banned at Walmart in Memphis.
Boarded the plane.
Yeah. So
she stole those blue suede shoes.
I would test this.
Every chance you get.
Yeah. Ashley Cross charged with criminal trespass, theft of merchandise less than $1,000. As of this writing, was still being held on a $7,500 bond in Memphis.
Let's give her the bond. Let's get her out.
But she's got. I'm not posting her bond.
Let's get her out, and then we'll take her to Walmart. We'll go straight from the jail.
You want to fund this?
Let's go straight to the Walmart.
Get out of here.
Ashley Adventure to visit as many Walmarts as possible.
Let's go.
I just thought it was fascinating to see how they could possibly know who she is and ban her from every Walmart in the country. I just don't think that's happening. Does anyone know? And science is out. Science. Do you know the exact time that you should be taking a nap and how long that nap should be? The new science is in. So if you're a nap taker or if you like a little recharge during the day, I'm a nap taker. When I finish the MJ mornings, I work late. So I work very late. I don't get a ton of sleep weeknights. Weekends I catch up a little bit, and they say that doesn't work. But anyway, I hope to get 5 hours a night. Last night I think it was 4:30, but I had an hour and a half nap during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I typically take a nap, and the naps vary from 20 minutes to over an hour.
They are never 20
but
minutes.
My average is about 45 minutes. The average nap for me is about 45 minutes. But there's new science out.
Yeah.
There's new research out. What time is the best time for nap o'clock?
Oh, man.
Nap o'clock.
I mean,
any idea?
I would consider you a near expert on this matter.
Uh-huh.
Well, also the nap, when I was doing the afternoon show as well, I was doing mornings and then afternoons for 22 years. The nap became very essential. But what time, if you were to guess, and Michelle, you haven't seen this, right?
No.
Okay. So, Fester, Michelle, if you were to guess, what time do you think nap o'clock is? And then what is they've pinpointed this, the exact time of the day that is the best time to nap for most people, and then the length of time that nap should be. What do you think it is?
2:40 and 20 minutes.
20-minute nap at 2:40 in the afternoon. You are wrong on both. Fester, what's your guess?
I bet you she's close. I mean, what, earlier? Maybe 2 o'clock, 2:15, that range? I think 2 o'clock is the napping hour for me.
And then how long?
I don't know.
How long of a nap?
30 minutes.
All right, wrong again. All right, here it is. You ready, folks?
Sure.
The science is in. 1:42 p.m.
All right.
So, Fester, you were close, but Price is Right rules, you went over.
I did.
Yep, you
2
were
o'clock
over.
is 2 o'clock the wake-up time? You go to sleep at 1:40?
Nope.
You sleep for 15 minutes?
Nope, I haven't revealed yet what the amount of time you should nap is. For the optimal napping, nap o'clock is 1:42 p.m., and you should nap for 51 minutes.
Oh, I
that's a long
wish.
time.
So if you nap at 1:42, then you should wake up at 2:33. So that would be 51 minutes. Yeah, this is research which was done. It was a survey and research put into this project, and there it is. 142. What do you say, Andrew? You said this
It's
is
ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
To come up with a time like that and the duration,
I mean,
nobody can pull that off.
There has to be a perfect time. I mean, we have those, and I know you don't like these, but we have an Alexa at our house. And I'll say, if I lay on for a
Why
nap,
do you have that spy operation in your house?
because I like being spied on. I'm like,
Why
I'm
don't
like
you just
reverse voyeur.
Why don't you just put your bank accounts and routing numbers and everything? Why don't you just put it up on your social
Well,
media?
Okay,
Nothing's
fine.
happened to him yet. But
Yeah.
so what do you do?
Bank
What do you
of
tell?
America?
What do you tell the Alexa today?
003-42-816-97.
So do you tell Alexa? I'm going.
Passwords Mandingo.
What's your social security number?
624.
God, you stop it. No, it's not.
But do you tell Alexa like I'm taking a nap now?
Well, I go lay down. And
You
I'll
were
say,
born in New York, so your social's probably a 0 or a 1.
It's a 099.
Yeah, so you're 0. Yeah.
You were born in New York.
No, I was. I was.
Yeah.
I was born in New York, but my social security number was issued in Virginia in the late 1970s.
Mm.
I didn't get a social security number until we
Yeah.
moved to Virginia. I was like maybe 11 years old when I got my social security number.
I didn't get one until I was in Japan.
Were your parents undocumented?
So mine starts with a 2. Michelle, you're a 2 as well, right?
Nope.
What are you?
Yes.
If you were,
Oh, you're a 5.
Mhm.
Hold on, why do you have a 5?
Because my parents got it when we were overseas.
Oh, that's right.
does 5
So
mean
some-
overseas
Yeah.
number?
I don't know
or
what that
military?
designated,
Yeah.
but it was definitely something else.
Interesting.
But
So wait, what do you tell Alexa? Sorry.
I say, I lay down for a nap.
Alexa, I'm hungry. What should I eat?
And it gives me things to eat. You should eat.
Am I entertaining you, Michelle?
My Alexa, if I said, Alexa, what should I eat? It would say, hey, fat boy, eat a salad.
No.
Yeah, it would. It
I
would.
saw-
My Alexa's very mean.
But
Go
what
ahead.
does it tell you about your nap?
I lay down for a nap and I say, Alexa, set a timer for 50 minutes or set a timer for 1 hour.
Mhm,
And then you zonk off and then Alexa beeps in an hour and I get up. I mean, that's me. I use it as an alarm feature.
And wait, I want to hear Andrew because he gets here before all of us.
Right.
So Andrew, do you take a nap?
I take several naps during the day. I take one on my drive home.
Oh,
Very nice.
You put on that caddy cruise control.
Outside the improvement, nobody really notices.
All right, it's 8:08 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. We're in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ. P. Diddy update. Sean Combs, P. Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever the hell he's going by now. So he filed a $100 million lawsuit yesterday against NBC, claiming severe reputational and economic harm.
Mm-hmm.
So Sean Diddy Combs is suing NBC Universal because of that documentary
Mm-hmm.
that hit. What was it on Peacock? Right?
Peacock, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the fall of Diddy?
Yeah.
No, Making of a Bad Boy, I think.
The recent documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. Exactly right, Michelle. So Sean Diddy Combs yesterday filed a $100 million defamation suit against NBC Universal because of the alleged lies that he claims are in the Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy documentary. So attorneys for Diddy filed the complaint in New York. Page 6 had the initial exclusive story. They had the filing, I guess, was given to them. And they claim that the documentary assumes that their client has, quote, committed numerous heinous crimes, including serial murder, rape of minors, sex trafficking of minors, and attempts to crudely psychologize him.
I've never heard that word used
Hold on.
before.
Psychologize. Yes. Psychologize.
All right. I mean,
My first day with the new language.
It's a tough word. I mean, I don't see that every day.
Yeah, I don't see that word every day either.
So, MJ, if he's convicted, doesn't this go out the window, right?
Well, here's the thing. That's going to that trial will take a long time to come, right?
Yeah.
But also, I think NBC is in the process of either selling, buying, they're merging or someone's trying to buy them. So what the article that I read said that they might actually pursue a settlement because they can't have this hanging out.
It could
while
hold
they're-
them up.
Yeah.
Litigation could hold
I
up
mean,
any
so
kind.
he could, right,
Well,
he could actually end up with something
well-
simply because of a business transaction that's, perceived to be
Because
forthcoming.
NBC Universal, aren't they? They're going to keep like the NBC main television network, but they're spinning off a lot of the cable, like MSNBC and some of their other cable offerings. I think they're trying to spin that off into a separate entity. So they might settle with Diddy. Okay, I'll tell you what, Diddy, we'll settle right now. we'll give you 1,000 cases of lube and 1,000 cases of baby oil.
All right.
Let's settle right now.
I'll take it.
Instead, his lawyers are asking for
1 billion, gajillion, fifillion, shabadoo.
So, big news yesterday. Yeah, I mean, look. Hey, Diddy, how about you worry about the fact that you're charged with federal crimes that could put you in the slammer for the rest of your life?
So here's the deal. Diddy hasn't seen this documentary. I mean, they don't get. Do they get Peacock in a federal prison?
I wonder if.
I mean, I know they get Peacock in a federal prison,
I
but
wonder,
not that kind.
I wonder if he was able to see it. I wonder if. I wonder if his lawyers maybe played it for them during a. There's nothing to preclude that. If you have a meeting with your attorneys and they bring in a device to show you the documentary, I don't think that's out of the question.
Okay. Right. So they either had to play it for him or provide him with a transcript where he could then, annotate.
They don't mention baby oil enough. I'm suing these guys.
Right.
You see the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees that were announced yesterday?
No.
How many have nothing to do with rock and roll?
In Cleveland? Well, there are a couple on here that I don't consider, but that changed years ago. They started, adding artists. And a lot of the artists that were added that we didn't consider like rock and roll.
Amazing.
I like a lot of the artists. I like a lot of the music. I mean, do I love rock and roll? I do, but there's dance music. There are other genres that I enjoy a lot as well. So we have the list of the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, which I thought we would go over the list here. And,
all right.
And, take a moment or so. Tell me if you know this band. Here we go. Michelle Fester. I mean, everyone knows the song. Do you know the band, though?
No.
See, that's why I asked the question. Michelle, you know the song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, everyone should know this song. What's the name of the band? Michelle, just guess. What do you think it is?
I would guess something like the Trogs or Steppenwolf or, some,
Nope.
The Zombies.
Nope. Michelle, come on. Really? All right, Fester, what about you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I've heard this song a billion times.
That would be Bad Company.
Oh.
Bad Company.
They have one song. Give me a second Bad Company song.
Yeah. I wouldn't know another song.
It's a good question. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I mean-
do I know any other?
If I had like a
No, of course. Listen, they had more than one
Did
song.
they? Okay, listen. I mean, if this was like a 1.5 hit wonder
All right.
Hall of Fame, then I would put them right in
Very
first
good.
ballot.
Next nominee yesterday in the upcoming 2025 potential inductees, 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The next nomination is
This song, and I love their version of the song. It's the Black Crows.
Yes. Look at that.
Two things.
Michelle, did you know that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yep.
Name a second Black Crows song. And this isn't even their song.
There's another slow one that I like,
Okay.
but I don't know the name of
Yeah,
it.
right. They don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right.
They belong in the really, really good bands who I might see if they were with two other bands at the Amphitheater Hall of Fame.
Next nominee is, and does this person belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Next nominee yesterday is We're going to get the squealing and the shrieking.
I hope so.
Also,
Some
to go.
good stuff.
I think she ought to go in like the Shrieking Hall of Fame.
I'll tell you right now, if they named a wing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after Mariah Carey,
the Shriek Wing.
no, I'd be fine with it. She's a top level, home run hitter.
But
act,
when I
no question.
when I hear some of the songs where she does those high notes that could like break glasses, some of those. As I hear them later in life, here I'm like, oh my God, it's like.
At the time, everybody was so impressed that she could, make
the
dogs
high
cry.
notes. And, some of the shrieking and the high notes that does drive me crazy. So obviously, it's Mariah Carey was nominated yesterday. Next, who is this next nominee yesterday? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Fat Boys doing the twist. Go like this. Come on.
Remember the Fat Boys
Yeah,
version?
the Fat Boys version, 1988, 87.
Remember their movie, The Disorderlies?
Oh, God.
So good.
Disorderlies
So
was one of the
good.
worst movies ever made.
I loved it.
All right, who was that?
All right. The Rock and Roll
Come
Hall
on, dude,
of
you
Fame.
should know.
Listen,
You really associate and relate to this
the
individual.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should close down if he has not been inducted
Yeah,
already.
why the hell is he not in the Rock and Roll Hall?
A first class.
But also, apparently, this is his first time as a nominee. How could that be in 2025? This is his first nomination. I would have thought that he would have been inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in year 1 or 2.
The original inductees would have included Chubby Checker.
There you go. Let's do that twist. Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys are doing that twist. Did it go like that? I think it did. Chubby Checker and the Fat Boy.
Did they do it together, or did they just the Fat Boys just ripped off the song?
No, they did it together. It was in conjunction. Andrew, bring up the Fat Boys and Chubby Checker and the Twist. I'll tell you what, are the Fat Boys still alive, or did they die of heart attacks?
I know 2 of them died.
Well, there were only 2 of them.
No, there were 3.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
There were 3 Fat Boys? I thought there were only 2 Fat Boys.
2 black guys and the Latin guy. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I saw the movie The Disorderlies.
But the shocker here, if I were asked, is Chubby Checker in the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, for $1 million, I would have lost the bet. I would have lost $1 million. All right, do you have it? Do you have it? All right, roll. Here's the. Of course, it's who?
Joe Cocker.
Michelle?
Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker.
A lot of these we know. This isn't that obscure. Some of them are.
All right, you ready? The next one, the next nominee yesterday for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is.
Last day to start again. It's a
nice day for a white wedding. Yep.
dancing with myself.
Dancing with myself. Why is he also not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet?
I go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Billy Idol's not in there. I'm like, what the hell's
Yeah.
going on? What are you guys doing?
What kind of janky Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is this?
Seriously.
You suck.
No kidding.
No, it's like this year, some years you have nominees, you're like, hey, you know what? Do they really belong? But this year it's like you have a whole bunch of them. It's like, what the hell? They're not already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Right.
What about this band? Michelle, if you don't know who this is immediately, I'm divorcing you. Here we go. Next nominee yesterday, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2025. Michelle?
That was the first song that I listened to in my brand new car when I got it in 1986.
Your 86 Toyota Tercel?
Yes.
Who sings it?
That little silver piece of tinfoil?
Yes.
That's
the one
a
that
good-
you hopped in the back of when you met me.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I bet he did.
Little backseat.
He couldn't get in that backseat fast
Little
enough.
backseat
That's
Michelle
right.
action. Yeah, right outside of Streamers in 1987.
In the Tercel.
All right, Virginia Beach, baby.
Boy, good thing you're
All
a
right.
short guy.
Yeah.
New Order.
It is New Order,
Yeah.
yes. So New Order has been nominated. The next one.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
One song. Again, name another New Order song.
Well, I can't name the names of the song. I listened to the whole album.
Yeah, but I'm
right?
saying if you don't know 5
Shell,
of
oh,
them-
I know another one.
Yeah,
Shell Shock, Pretty in Pink.
Oh, yeah. Pretty and... No, did they,
No, it's on the
no,
album.
Pretty in Pink was Psychedelic
No,
Furs.
no. That was on the album.
That was
the
psychedelic.
soundtrack of Pretty in Pink
This
is
is
Shell
okay.
Shock.
Gotcha.
This is my point exactly. Does this belong in the Hall of Fame of rockers?
Also, I don't think of them as rockers. I think of it a little more like
They're new wave.
It's
yeah.
now.
So-
It's now the.
Yeah, they did Blue Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they,
Oh, man.
New Order's has some good songs.
Oh, sure.
One.
True Faith is a good song.
Oh, I love it.
And when was the last time we played it on
Andrew,
Q105?
Andrew, bring up True Faith. I don't know if we play any New Order on
You don't.
Q105.
We should play the hit that we just played.
Mm-hmm.
True Faith is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
But we do play Bizarre Love Triangle.
Oh, that's another favorite of
Yeah,
mine.
well, that's the one we just played.
Yeah.
This is Bizarre Love. That's Bizarre Love Triangle. So, but True Faith, do you have it? Let me know when you. All right, start it. Go ahead. Hit True Faith. This is New Order's. This is a great song. This is what, like 1987, 88? Yeah, 87. Every time I see, right? Yeah, it's a great song. All right, so moving along. The next nominee for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2025, just announced yesterday, is... That was a number one hit, summer of '84.
How is she not in already?
Yeah,
I mean,
also another smash was... I love Cyndi Lauper.
yeah, I mean, she's an iconic musician. True Colors, right?
Also, she has psoriasis.
Yeah.
And listen, I love her Cosentix commercials, you know?
I mean, they better get her in before she succumbs to that skin lesion disease that she has.
Psoriasis, right?
She's gonna...
I couldn't remember.
What?
I couldn't remember if it was psoriasis.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I've got a little psoriasis. I don't, nothing major, but I've got a little touch of psoriasis.
Yeah, you and Cyndi Lauper have a lot in
Yeah.
common. Did you know if you went to her concert, they sell pieces of dandruff at the merch table?
Scaly psoriasis
I'd buy
skin.
some Cyndi Lauper dandruff. I mean, anybody can have a T-shirt.
Please stop it. So I really hope that Cyndi Lauper gets in because I love Cyndi Lauper.
How is she not in already?
But is it rock?
It doesn't
You're
matter.
deviating now.
It's the Music Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's what I think.
Yeah, there's all kinds of acts in there. I mean, in
Yeah.
years past, I mean, the rappers have been admitted. It's
Right.
not rock and roll. They call it rock and roll.
Right.
Cleveland's, the home of rock and roll.
All through the
heart of rock and
night.
roll.
I love all through the night. The
Witness.
little like spiky music intro on that one. I mean, what about this? Yeah. How about She Bop, which how many people know that this is a song about female, All right, so
I'm sorry, what did you say this was about?
female.
I don't know what that.
Female.
Okay, you'll have to tell me later.
All right.
Whisper in my ear.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not-
She Bop.
Not your ear.
She Bop. I Bop. You Bop. we Bop.
Not
She
the
Bop.
ear, baby.
And then, of course, I love.
Right.
She's been a star for 45 years.
All right. Now, this next one, I have no idea who they are. It's foreign language, so I guess it's.
Like Latin?
Yeah,
or?
it's Latino, and I'm sorry, I just don't know this particular band.
Let's hear it.
Did you put any? I don't. Here we go. Yeah. So Andrew did pull a little clip. Here we go. Yeah, the band is Maná.
Okay.
Maná.
If I was into Mexican rock, this is pretty awesome.
I got to be honest. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I mean-
But I apologize. I'm not familiar with the Mexican pop rock band Maná, formed in I've never worked at a station that played Maná, but hey, it sounds pretty good actually.
There's a morning job available.
Yeah. All right. Next, tell me who this is. Then I've got four more nominees that came in yesterday for the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right, the next one. Tell me who this is.
Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall.
All right, come on, Michelle. Who is that?
Oh, that's easy. Oasis.
Yes, it is. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew
Fester? Did you?
Oasis.
You did? Okay, Oasis. Then, again, I like Oasis.
Oasis makes sense because don't you have to be like a big star for like 25 or 30 years before you can even be inducted? You can't like have like one hit and then be inducted the next year. You have to be a legend act.
Yeah.
So that makes
There
sense.
is criteria. I think that's the word you're looking for.
No, it's not the word at all.
I like this band too, and they're up. It's a good song.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Outcast. Hey, yeah, Michelle.
But you know what I used to when I played this for the kids in the car, and you know when they say "shake it like a Polaroid picture,"
Shake it, shake it,
and I
shake
would
it, shake
do
it.
it,
Yeah, yeah, shake
and the
it.
kids were like, "What are you doing?" And I had to explain to them back in the day.
Back
Of
in
course,
the day.
Polaroid's popular now, right? But
Yeah. You know, Polaroids. made a comeback.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was a kid, I was like maybe 9 years old. My dad had that first Polaroid SX70. The one where it had like a brown leather on it, and it folded up and you popped it up. It was like the Polaroid tent camera, and you push that red button, and it would spit out. It was a Polaroid SX70. So, Outkast. I like Outkast. I don't know if they're going to make it this time around. I think they probably need a little bit more under their belt.
I don't. Are they still together? I don't know that they're going to produce any more.
And did they do anything else?
Name a second Outkast
I can't
song.
even name a second one.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Outkast songs come to my mind, and Andrew says they had bigger songs than Hey Ya, but what were they?
They might have, but I can't think of it right now.
The next one, there's only two more nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fish. P-H-I, Fish.
Never heard of them.
You've heard of Fish.
Shut your
Never heard of
Yes,
them.
you have.
No, I haven't.
All right, and then finally, the last inductee in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is this. Played in every stadium in America. All right, so Seven Nation Army. Do you know the name of the band?
I do, because when Julian was learning how to play the guitar, this was the first song that the teacher, thank you, John Barr, was teaching him.
I was going to say, who was that great teacher?
John Barr. He's still, you know what? When I'm done with this gig right here, the filling in, I'm going to go learn to play the guitar from him.
Michelle's like, I wonder if John Barr is still teaching guitar locally, because Michelle says she wants to learn how to play the guitar.
Yep. Done with this.
She wants
the white
to put
stripes.
on white stripe. Michelle wants to put on some like tight black, like Joan Jett leather pants
I didn't say all of that.
and
now.
become a rocker. So Michelle wants to learn how to play. Is John Barr still teaching off of?
I'll reach out to him.
Off of Memorial, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He has a website up.
Is he still? Yeah, John Barr. What a great teacher. John Barr has been teaching violin, and is that the same guy?
I mean,
hold on.
John Barr, Tampa.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Chloe was doing violin and Julian was doing guitar.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, MJ, I pulled up a list from USA Today, and it said Soundgarden is also nominated.
Yeah.
Is that on your list?
Nope.
Next page?
Nope. Soundgarden is not on my
All
list.
right, USA Today has every band we've gone over.
Hold on. They have
Soundgarden.
I've got the CNN story.
CNN.
And CNN does not. Are you sure?
Oh, well, according
you
to
know
USA
what?
I don't make this stuff up.
I'm
reading
looking at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website right now. Soundgarden is listed.
And wow, so we left
So I
one
don't know.
off.
You did.
So USA Today has Soundgarden, CNN did
Well-
not, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does.
You know what? If they're not listed in those articles, they're not going to get the press required
Those-
to get the votes.
Those slacker hacks at CNN.
Yeah.
How is it Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, and Billy Idol's first time?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's their first time being nominated.
No, here,
they just haven't been inducted.
Artists making the list for the first time.
No, read that. Read it again.
Artists making the list for the first time are Bad Company, Black Crowes, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Mana, Outkast, and Fish. Why isn't that song in the Rock and Roll? Hall of
I'm
Fame?
going to tell you right now that I am shocked that Billy Idol, of the list, I'm shocked that Billy Idol, Joe Cocker, and Chubby Checker are not actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already.
How do you not have a Checkers actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
And how many will then be able to be inducted?
I don't know. You usually pick like half a dozen of them, right?
All right, moving along. Speaking of music, Vince Neil from Motley Crue, we know that his plane crashed in Scottsdale, Arizona, making a landing. Vince Neil from Motley Crue was not on the plane. We told you that earlier in the week. And we also told you early on that the early cause of the accident most likely is some type of structural failure, some kind of collapse of the left main landing gear. And then the plane just veered and yawed and smashed into a Gulfstream 200 off on the ramp off of the side of the runway, and the pilot was killed. But and there's a little more on that. I just have a question to ask, and I saw something yesterday regarding the pilot who did pass away in the crash. May he rest in peace. Terrible story. But there's something that came up. I'm like, and I'll bring that up in a second. But Vince Neil was not on the crash jet because he extended his birthday bash here in Florida. But wait a minute. So you're extending your birthday bash and you send your girlfriend off? Why wouldn't your girlfriend stay with you during your extended birthday bash? Unless he wanted to get it on with a bunch of Motley Crue groupies. I don't know.
Maybe she had somewhere to be or something to do.
You're Vince Neil. Every day's your birthday, okay? I mean, listen.
Good point, Fester.
Hey, listen. My birthday's this year. How about I spend a month with the guys, and I'll spend a month with my girl, and I'll travel around the world.
From TMZ, Vince Neil's birthday party in Florida may have been a lifesaver because it's the reason the Motley Crue frontman wasn't on board the doomed private jet flight that killed his longtime pilot. Vince's close friend Lance Graves tells TMZ before Vince's private jet was involved in the fatal crash Monday in Arizona, Neil and his friends were celebrating in Florida his 64th birthday. I don't know where in Florida they just all I see is that in Florida. So I don't know what part of Florida. I wonder where he was. Was he down in Miami? Was he in West Palm? Was he here in the Tampa Bay area? Was he in Sarasota? Was he in Naples? The rocker's girlfriend, Rain, was on the flight with her friend when the jet landed. Landing gear collapsed, lost control, crashed into a parked jet. Vince's friend says that Rain had been in Arizona to check in for a gig at the Royal Crown Barrel Racing Competition. So the girlfriend's like a barrel racer.
I guess so.
She can be an extra in Yellowstone or something.
I think that show's over.
Yeah, I think we're just watching Yellowstone now.
That's the only reason I know why the barrel racer, what that is.
Yeah, we're about 8 years too late on Yellowstone. We're finally watching Yellowstone. So she was headed, I guess, to Arizona to check in for a gig for some horse racing event. And then Vince Neil's girlfriend, this Rain, she had 5 broken ribs in the crash.
Yeah,
that's got to be painful as crap.
Yeah.
5 broken ribs.
I mean, relatively minor, all things considered.
So I guess she's not going to be checking into the barrel racing tournament. You know what? They can tape those up, can't they?
No, I think they don't do anything other than like tape your torso.
That's it.
Yeah.
Tape it up. Get it back out there.
Right?
Anyway, I hope she has a speedy recovery. But then quickly, before I move on, I had a question about the pilot. So the pilot of this Learjet, a Lear 35, Vince Neil's longtime pilot, who passed away. So the co-pilot apparently had some injuries, but he survived. The pilot, smashing into the side of that Gulf Stream, he was just in a spot that obviously had the most impact, and he passed away. But do you know how old Vince Neil's pilot of the Learjet was? I just take a guess. How old do you think Vince Neil's pilot of his private jet was?
Well, since you're asking, I'm going to guess that it's more than what the FAA requires you to retire at. So I'm going to go with 72.
That is wrong.
Oh.
You are too low.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So Michelle's correct. The FAA, in a commercial pilot situation, so for the airlines, a pilot has to retire at 65.
Right.
So Delta, American, Southwest, Frontier, a pilot that's flying for a large carrier, was it a 121 carrier? A pilot for the major airlines, you have to retire at 65. So if I said too low.
So hold on. I could be a pilot, retire at 65, and then make a killing being a rock star's pilot for the next 20 years?
Yeah, you can retire and then you can fly private. So you just can't be a commercial pilot for one of the airlines past 65. It used to be 60, used to be 62.
And they raised it up?
Was it 60 or 62? Might have been, but they raised it like 10 years ago.
65 seems moderately young.
And, I would push for 67. And, there's been a lot of chatter that the FAA and a lot of that there's been a push to try to raise because to be quite honest, 65, I still think you got plenty of skills left, but the experience level. Give me a 65-year-old pilot that's been flying for United or Delta for 30-something years with 35,000 hours. Give me that pilot all day long than some kid that just got off of a
I just graduated from Emory Riddle.
a regional jet, you know. And,
But wait a minute. But you realize he wasn't a pilot until 2019.
The pilot, Vince Neil's pilot?
Correct.
So he
I have him
turned
as
70 and decided to become a pilot?
How
How old is this guy?
He was a flight engineer in 1978, and he became a pilot in 2019.
I don't know if I don't think that's right.
That's according to FAA records out of People magazine.
I don't know. I don't know if that's right.
How old is he?
All right.
He flew helicopters in 1969.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but he was a pilot though. He was
But not
jets.
Correct.
All right, so here's the deal. Vince Neil's pilot was 78 years old. Now, listen, if the landing gear collapsed, age didn't call, well, maybe the age of the airplane, but the age of the pilot, unless it was like a horrifically hard landing, which we haven't heard anything about that, but it could just be a flat out mechanical failure. At this point, I'm not going to drag that in, but I just think that Vince Neil, you're okay with a 78-year-old pilot? It's like Joe Biden flying the thing.
How old is Vince Neil?
All right, maybe not. All right.
You know, I gotta say, 78's that funny age where they're either really with it or they're really old.
And that is fair. You've got some 78-year-olds that you would have no idea they're 78.
Right.
Because
you don't look a day over 71.
No, seriously. You've got some 78-year-olds that are spry as can be.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you've got some 78-year-olds that are just ass dragging, and they shouldn't be driving a golf cart, let alone flying a jet.
I mean, I'm sure the guy was in pretty good
it sounds
physical shape and mental
but
awareness.
Still, you just kind of say, a 78-year-old jet pilot, I don't
living the life. He's the pilot for Vince Neil.
Just tossing it out there.
All those 65-year-old groupies.
His daughter said his vision was perfect, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, he might have been a very capable pilot, and I might be being a little harsh on the guy. And listen, may he rest in peace. Terrible. It might be completely not his fault, just a mechanical failure on Vince Neil's 1989 built Learjet.
You ever go out to one of these private airports and see some of the guys get into these planes?
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's an old man's game a lot of the time. Some of these pilots are either really young or really old.
You're saying that like Paw Paw?
I learned to fly in Korea.
8:42 at the MJ Morning Show, 104.7 FM, Q105. Thanks for listening. Still doing over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. If you have chocolate, and especially with Valentine's Day coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
So where should you not store your chocolate? Now think about this. Obviously there are a couple of answers here. Don't leave your chocolate in the back seat of your car here in Florida.
In my backpack, in my trunk, where I left the chocolate for a week.
Right.
It was all coagulated and soft.
Yeah. So listen, don't obviously leave your chocolate in a hot car here in Florida. But on the other side, you know what the experts say?
Near your dog.
No. Dude, come on.
But dogs can't have chocolate, right? I've always heard that.
Man, I give my dogs chocolate all the time.
Why do you give them like a Hershey's bar?
No.
Yes.
I do not.
Yes to what?
My dogs love chocolate. And I give them like a little chocolate callet the size of a chocolate chip.
He gives them chocolate chips.
They love it, man. When they hear me opening up the bag of Calabout milk chocolate callets, or even the dark chocolate.
Is that the melting coins? Those round discs?
Yeah, so I get, but but they're small. They're very small.
About the size of a nickel or something.
No, they're not. They're much smaller. The ones that I use are the size of.
What, do you get BB size callets?
No, they're a little bigger than like a Nestle's chocolate chip. They're just a little bigger than that. So, my dogs love them. And listen, a dog. You talk to any vet. Look, a dog has to eat a ridiculous amount of, and typically it's like the high cacao, whatever you call it. It's
Baker's chocolate.
Yeah, it's the dark chocolate stuff.
I think you call it cacao.
Anyway, so the experts are saying, you think you're preserving your chocolate by putting it in the fridge? Nope. Do not. You're ruining your chocolate. It ruins the taste. Do not keep chocolate in the fridge. Just room temperature. Make sure it's not too cold. The fridge is not good for chocolate. And obviously the back seat of your car or Fester's back pocket. you imagine wearing khaki pants? You got a chocolate bar in the back and it melts, and then
It happens
it's all
all the
like
time to
it's like
me.
you got a bad case of the runs or something.
You don't know how
Oh,
often
let me sniff that. Oh, it's Cadbury.
You know how many times my wife has done laundry and then she pulls out like my pants and there's like a Nestle's wrapper in there and it's like all just melted and gooped and it's stuck to my pocket. I've ruined more
Yeah.
pants that way.
So do not put your chocolate in the fridge. Cold is not good. Ruins the taste. What's that? Andrew says, did I see who, go back to Vince Neil's jet for a second.
What?
Andrew just said in my, go ahead and turn your microphone on. Ask the question again.
Did you see who owned the plane that got hit?
No. So Vince Neil's Learjet 35 busted
Vince owned the other plane.
What?
Not Vince Neil. Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn?
Owns the other plane.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hold on. Vince Neil's Lear 35 smashed into Vince Vaughn, the actor's Gulfstream. Hold on, that guy's made enough money to have a a Gulfstream 200?
Correct.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Vince Vaughn hasn't made enough money to have a Gulfstream. Maybe really? What are the odds? A Vince hits a Vince?
Oh, you wanted a coincidence story.
Oh my God, that is coincidental. Vince Neil, the Motley Crue lead singer's jet bashes into another Vince's airplane, and it's Vince Vaughn from what, like Wedding Crashers?
Yeah. All right. Can I make a
How much money did he make in Wedding Crashers to afford a Gulfstream 200?
First of all, he had a bunch of hit movies. He probably invested reasonably well. I mean, this is MJ. I have to admit and make a confession.
Yeah.
Somebody told me this earlier in the week, and I totally thought they were kidding. And I wrote back, LOL.
Hold on. Somebody, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The day we talked about it, somebody wrote, hey, do you know who he hit? He hit Vince Vaughn, 2 Vinces. And I wrote back, LOL. That's funny. You know, I thought the guy was totally kidding.
No, apparently it's real.
Yeah.
Usually I'm on top of that crap. Man, I'm slacking over here.
You are.
I didn't know that.
You're
Wow.
behind.
All right, 8:47 at the MJ Morning Show. What is going on? Why would parents give their kids Starbucks refreshers?
Ew.
I saw.
Is that an energy drink?
Yeah, so it's a caffeine-infused drink at Starbucks, and I saw a video. I saw a reel on my Instagram. I saw that somebody had posted. They're at Starbucks, and this mother is buying refreshers for their little kids. Like, clearly, she said like 7, 8, 9 years old. And those things are all dosed up with caffeine. According to Starbucks, each serving of their refresher has 45 to 55 milligrams of caffeine.
It seems like a lot for a kid.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot for an adult.
Don't give your kids, and that's more than a Coke, right? How many milligrams in a can of Coke of caffeine? Milligrams of caffeine in a Coke, like a 12-ounce Coke.
12-ounce Coke is 34.
34 milligrams. So this is higher. This is
Twice as
45 to 55. And what about that Panera drink that was killing people?
Oh, yeah.
They've pulled that off. I mean, those people were little idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, they drank like, 6 of them.
Yeah. Well, how many milligrams? And Panera did finally yank that off the market, right? Yeah. Oh, is there charged lemonade? Like the equivalent of...
That had 155
Oh, my
milligrams of
God.
caffeine. Oh, my God.
Hold on a sec. Andrew was saying, depending on the size, it had 158 to 390.
The large 30-ounce mango.
If you got the 30-ounce mango yuzu citrus charged lemonade at Panera, it had 390 milligrams. Yeah, give that to a 4-year-old. See what happens.
Run through a wall.
My God, they chew through wood.
Yeah, I don't buy anything for my kids that are like caffeinated. Now, if Starbucks had like a melatonin macchiato or something.
A what?
Yeah.
Something like
to put them to sleep?
Put those little
Okay.
bastards to sleep and
All right.
save on the Benadryl.
So medical experts say that kids under 12 should have no amount of caffeine.
Yeah, I don't give my kids caffeine.
According to most medical advice, no amount of caffeine should be consumed before the age of 12. And here's his mother at Starbucks loading the kids up on their caffeine-infused refreshers.
I mean, occasionally the kids will even have like a soda, but it'll be like a Sprite or a Starry that has no caffeine,
Right.
or a Zero root beer that has no caffeine.
We had rules back in the day. Soda Saturday.
Yeah. We did not allow any sodas in the house when the kids were growing up. We still don't have it. Well, Chloe defies us now, and she buys like those suitcases of
Yeah.
cherry Cokes.
What a rebel you've raised there.
I know.
I'll defy you, Father. You and your rules. I'll buy a suitcase of cherry Coke.
All right, Andrew is our Disney expert. So, Andrew, our producer here on the MJ Morning Show, story breaking that Disney is changing It's a Small World. Confirmed yesterday, February 12th, that after 59 years since It's a Small World first opened at Disneyland in California, that they are going to change the sound of It's a Small World noticeably.
I mean, didn't they use that song in Guantanamo Bay to like torture
Right.
suspected terrorists?
I don't know. Did they?
I think MJ, I think I remember that song being on the list.
I thought it was like death metal that they played.
I think it was back and forth. It was like,
It's a small world after all.
was it a death metal?
It's a small world after all.
Was it a death metal version of Small World?
Is
really
there
bad.
one?
I mean, I thought they they capture like Abu Baba and they have him in Guantanamo Bay and they were just like, and he'd be like, please, I'll tell you everything.
In
What do you want to know?
celebration of the 70th anniversary of Disneyland out in California, I guess they're updating It's a Small World, and they're gonna change the song. I guess they're gonna add a new final verse. So a new final verse is gonna be added to the song that you can't unhear and get out of your head. The addition isn't a new creation, however. It was written by legendary composer Richard M. Sherman.
Yeah, the Sherman brothers wrote the
who
original.
Wrote the original It's a Small World. The additional verse was his final contribution to Disney. He died last year at the age of 95.
What did he say? Release this last verse after my death.
And at the time of his death, he was piloting Bret Michaels' airplane from Poison. He was Bret Michaels' chief pilot.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, the song can be heard on the ride starting July 17th, which is the official birthday of Disneyland out in Anaheim. So July 17th, they're going to add the new song. It's going to have a new verse. But is it going to still sound like... So some new verse. And once you hear that, folks, I apologize. People are going to be cursing me because that's going to be stuck in people's head for the rest of the day.
Dude, I saw a YouTube video of a guy with his whole family on the boat, and it got stuck.
Oh yeah, people climb out of that, and that water's filthy, by the way.
He was in that thing for
Do
like
you know
an
that
hour.
some people drink that water?
No.
Yeah, there are some sicko Disney wackos that will drink the water out of like It's a Small World. Oh my God! All right, 8:54 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close over an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ. You know, you got the SNL 50th anniversary coming up on
Sunday.
Is it this Sunday?
It's Sunday night
Yeah.
is the SNL 50th.
Are they doing like a 3-hour, like 8 to 11 special? I think it's a long deal. So the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. And there is a ranking that just came out of the 50 best cast members in the history of SNL. Who is the number one Saturday Night Live cast member over the entire 50-year history? Who's number one? And then when you go down the list, there's some kind of shockers. Like some people are like not high enough. Some are too high. Hang on. So I've got the list when we get back. And just there's a Jeffrey Epstein update. The whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. Yeah.
I haven't heard about him in a while.
Got a really interesting Jeffrey Epstein update coming up in just a bit. The Taco Bell, the Crunch Slap. Have you heard about the Crunch Slap now?
No.
It's not the Crunch Wrap. It's the Crunch Slap at Taco Bell.
You really got to be careful when you say that.
Yeah.
Let's just say that
I know.
really slowly. Abandon the joke altogether.
The Crunch Slap.
Slow your mouth down over there, buddy.
Crunch Slap.
Enunciation.
I saw it.
Enunciation really counts.
All right. That's just a small sample of what's coming up next. Don't move. We're back in minutes. MJ Morning Show here on Q105 at 8:55. All right, let's talk about my friends at West. It is 9:03 at the MJ Morning Show, and welcome to the final hour of the MJ Morning Show here on a Thursday, the day before V-Day, Valentine's Day. And Michelle and I are looking forward to just a fabulous romantic dinner at the OG, baby, the Olive Garden. Tomorrow night, find us at an early bird dinner at the Olive Garden.
You know what I love about it?
It's our new Valentine's Day tradition.
Two things.
Yep.
Items that you cannot get at our traditional places that we go to, right?
What, never-ending breadsticks?
And salad.
The garlic breadsticks,
Yep.
first of all.
Very good. Yep.
And the Alfredo. Fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah.
Which is not really a real
Okay, you say that, but it's on their menu, and I go there and I love it.
Listen, you take the tour of Italy from Olive Garden, get about a half a dozen breadsticks in me, a couple of ladles of Alfredo sauce, and it's on.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night. So SNL, 50 years old. This is their 50th season. They're doing the big SNL special on NBC on Sunday night. And I have a ranking here. I have the USA Today ranking of the 50 best cast members historically from Saturday Night Live. So they have ranked the best members of the show over 50 years. So from number 50 to number 1.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah, I might have to. I do want to mention them all.
What?
Yeah, and I wonder if when you hear these names, Saturday Night Live performers, not ready for primetime players, whatever, So the cast member, how many of these names do you know? You should know most of these names. And who is number 1? Do you agree with number 1? Are there some that are too low on the list, or are there some that are too high on the list? So here we go. Ranked over 50 seasons.
I instantly have a number 1, by the way.
There have been 167 cast members over those years, apparently. All right?
How many?
There have been 167 over the years.
So almost a third of them are on this list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
It's not that exclusive a list.
The 50 best cast members of SNL. Here we go. Number 50, a current member, is Bowen Yang. He's the Asian dude. And he gets on. Also, he was in Wicked, I saw, right? I've not seen the movie Wicked, but Bowen Yang from SNL was also in Wicked.
Are we going to analyze each one?
No,
Okay.
I'm not doing.
I'm just asking.
That's going to be a long,
about to say,
long
no.
list.
All right, number 49 is John Lovitz.
Okay.
Which is, that's the ticket, right? Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
it?
That's him.
Yeah.
I guess we are going to analyze each one.
Number 48, Sherry O'Terry, the cheerleading partner to Will Ferrell and the cheerleaders. Number 47, Nora Dunn. Number 46, Chris Parnell. Then 45, Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld.
Right.
Elaine was on SNL from 82 to 85.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the crap years. Those were like the years where they were considering just canceling the whole show.
Remember, like, the season ended in a fire and he only saved John Lovitz? And then there was a whole new cast the next year.
44 is Taron Killam. 43, Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis is only 43?
He's got to be he should be higher.
Just him jumping from the top of the screen in the red Adidas tracksuit during What Up With That is worth top 10.
You know, Sudeikis never really had a character.
Mikey Day is current. So Mikey Day is number 42. 41, Seth Meyers. 40, Jane Curtin. Jane Curtin, one of the originals. She should be much higher than number 40. Number 39, Beck Bennett. I thought he was great. Beck Bennett was 2013 to 2021. Tracy Morgan is only at 38.
That's crazy.
That's a squirrel. Or a squirrel. Why? Tracy Morgan is, that's like getting rear-ended by a tractor-trailer in your tour bus again.
Oh, too soon.
My God, too soon. Get out of here. Number 37, Lorraine Newman. Original, Vanessa Bayer, 36. Leslie Jones, 35. 34, Tim Meadows.
The ladies' man.
I'm going to have a glass of Cavassier. I'm the ladies' man. Tim Meadows. I like to. Heidi Gardner is current, is 33. 80 Bryant, 32. She's off now. Chris Rock is only 31. He was on for 3 seasons. Jimmy Fallon, number 30. Will Forte at number 29. Mike Myers is only 28.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
I would put him higher.
Mike Myers was on for 6 seasons, 89 and 95. And he's only number 28. 27 is Molly Shannon. And sometimes when I get nervous, I put my hands under my armpits and I smell them just like Mary Catherine Gallagher and, so Molly Shannon, number 27. Chevy Chase is only number 26.
I don't know,
But he was only there for like a year and a half.
Yeah, he was there for like a season.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald, number 25. Norm Macdonald's ahead of Chevy Chase. Anna Gasteyer is number 24. Andy Samberg is only 23. Fred Armisen, number 22. Adam Sandler is only 21st as far as the best cast members on Saturday Night Live. Coming in at number 20, Cecily Strong. I just saw her. We're watching Yellowstone, and a streaming commercial has her laying sexily in the bed, saying that she would love some extra inches.
What?
And she's talking about using mascara to lengthen her eyelashes. I'm like, what's going on here?
All right.
What do they pay you for that?
Tell you what, man.
Yeah. Some Maybelline commercial she's doing now. Bill Hader, who I thought was fantastic. What a utility. I mean, he could do it. His versatility was so good.
Yep.
Bill Hader, number 19. Tina Fey's number 18. Daryl Hammond, number 17. Jan Hooks, number 16. Rachel Dratch, number 15. Bill Murray, 14. Kristen Wiig, 13. Kenan Thompson, who's been on for 22 years, he's number 12. Dana Carvey at number 11.
How's he 11 and Mike Myers stuck into 30?
Yeah,
Right.
so now we enter the top 10. So
Yeah.
these are the top 10 most important, best cast members of Saturday Night Live over their 50 years. Number 10 is Maya Rudolph.
She's great.
She is great. She's fantastic. Number 9, Dan Aykroyd. I love Dan Aykroyd. Number 8, Kate McKinnon.
Ooh, I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
I love when she plays like the alien abductee.
Right.
That's some funny
Listen,
stuff.
she's very funny, but she's like maybe a teens. She's not a top 8.
Number 7 is in a van down by the river.
No question.
No question. Yeah. I agree.
Chris Farley, number 7. The 6th most popular SNL host is Amy Poehler.
Okay.
Number 5, Will Ferrell.
He was my number 1.
Will Ferrell is number 5.
When you said top 50 of all time, I said Will Ferrell's number 1.
And we're counting them down. Who's going to come in at number 1? Number 4 is John Belushi. All right, I agree. Number 3, Gilda Radner.
No.
Listen, that
no way.
that Rosanna Dana stuff's hysterical.
Boo.
Mr. Richard Fader of Fort Lee, New Jersey, writes in and says,
Great. She's number 13, not
"You're
number 30.
making me sick."
This is like all those best sitcom lists
Yeah.
having to include I Love Lucy. I mean,
Yes.
this is an homage
Yes.
to the original cast.
Gilda Radner
No
at
way.
number 3. Number 2, I love this guy. I love the number 2.
Yep.
Number 2, Phil Hartman.
When you said who's the number one, that's who I thought of.
Phil Hartman is one of
Yeah.
the most talented that ever has been on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday Night Live. Phil Hartman, I mean, I can just, what would Phil Hartman have done if his crazy freaking girlfriend didn't shoot him?
Was it his wife?
Was it wife or
I think it was
girlfriend?
That was wife.
Was it crazy wife?
I don't remember.
I think Fester's right.
Awful.
And coming in at number 1, who do you think? Who did I leave off the list? Who's number 1? Who's on the list that I did not mention yet? Think about it. Who is it?
Big star.
Huge.
Eddie Murphy?
Yep. Eddie Murphy, number
Yeah.
1. He was great.
Okay.
Yeah. So Eddie Murphy is number 1.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
I love a bunch of his movies.
You don't think he's number 1?
I don't. He's top 5.
Okay. Top 5, but not number 1?
Will Ferrell's number 1.
All right.
I think Phil Hartman's number one.
Will Ferrell, Phil Hartman,
Hey,
Eddie Murphy.
speaking of
John
another list,
Yeah.
the Jeffrey Epstein list is probably coming out.
How many guys are on the SNL list and the Epstein list?
I don't think there are any. I don't think there's any crossover. No, but seriously, it looks like the Jeffrey Epstein client list is among some of the files that are going to be released. Yes.
All right. So are these okay? When you say the list, I mean, are
So
these the people who
this-
spent like days at like Epstein Island, or just on the plane?
The client list. So the Epstein situation is very interesting on multiple fronts, but the client list of Jeffrey Epstein's is set to be released because that's what the task force that is heading up the declassification of a lot of federal secrets and documents has been charged to do, is release. There's also a belief that a whole lot of the UFO files over the decades are going to be released as well. Something that Trump has said, hey, we're releasing all this stuff. So it looks like, the Jeffrey Epstein client list is part of this declassification process. So who's on the list? One of the things that has always been speculated upon is, how did Jeffrey Epstein get so rich?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the speculative reasons has been that he brought people to like Epstein Island. They flew on the Lolita Express, and that he would hook them up with these like young underage girls and then have the goods on them, have video and proof, and then extort money out of these rich friends and guests. That's one of the theories on how Jeffrey Epstein got so rich.
Yeah, but then doesn't that dry up after like you blackmail 2 or 3 people and they tell the rest of the rich guys,
they're
hey,
not.
stay away from Epstein?
No, I think that's part of the deal. You don't say a word. He
Mhm.
probably threatened them. You don't say a word. You pay me, and I don't make it public that you just did it with a 15-year-old on Epstein Island.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I mean, how do you warn somebody else? Hey, this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I was doing this really awful thing
Yeah.
down there, and I got caught.
MJ, don't hang out with Jeff. I mean, I would give you a heads up. I would say it like a ventriloquist. Don't hang out with Jeff. Don't get on the plane.
Do not get on the Lolita Express.
Don't say ventriloquist.
If you're gonna believe anything I tell you, don't get on the plane.
I've got a piece of audio here that Michelle said that she might have to leave the studio.
Oh.
Michelle, get out. You don't need to leave the studio if I play this.
I just don't want to hear it.
What is it?
I don't want to hear it.
So last night,
It's morbid.
I saw the story. Michelle saw the story. She heard me getting ready to play it on my laptop just to kind of preview the audio. You're not really going to walk out, are you?
Well, I'm just going to take my headphones off.
Just turn them down.
Really?
Oh, very good. Thank you, Fester.
They have a volume knob. What is it?
So NOAA, the National the Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, right? That's NOAA.
Something like that.
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. NOAA released what apparently is the final seconds of the submersible explosion. You know, that Titanic Explorer. Actually, technically, it's an implosion. It imploded, you know, at the pressure at 10,000 feet. So NOAA has released this audio the moment the Titan submersible imploded, killing all 5 on board. And this has never been heard before. And you've got some white noise. It's kind of staticky sounding. And then there's like a boom and some reverb. And according to NOAA officials, it's the sound of the sub imploding before it got down to the Titanic back in June of 2023.
All right.
And this is the audio. So here you can hear just like a you can hear just the kind of like just the white noisy ocean noise. So listen. And then you hear that? I mean, do you hear that low rumble? That's eerie, man. All right, listen. And what's insane here, and you got to hear these details, the audio is captured. This is a 20-second recording of the disaster. It was picked up by a moored passive acoustic recorder about 900 miles away. So if that is what it sounds like, if that's what it sounded like on a microphone 900 miles away, this submerged moored passive acoustic recorder, which I guess was dangling.
What the hell does that do? Catch whales?
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe like enemy subs. Who knows?
If it could pick that up from 900 miles away, I'm going to think twice about farting in the ocean because it would pick it up.
Yeah, I think they also use it for tectonic plate movement, just stuff that they need to hear. So if that's the sound that you pick up 900 miles away, here we go, listen. Can you imagine what it must have sounded like right there? Michelle, did you turn your headphones down? Did you? Can you hear me?
Turn it up.
What?
They're down.
Turn your headphones up.
We're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, we're back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
You turned your headphones down?
I did. I didn't want to hear it. I told you that.
It's a little much. I don't think.
Michelle, honestly, there's not like this. People are like, let me out of here.
It's just kind of morbid.
I don't think this thing's going to hold, guys.
But-
I mean, it's not like that.
So you didn't hear me say that the sound was picked up by an acoustic device 900 miles away.
Right.
That's 900 miles away. 20 seconds of audio.
So 900 miles, you're saying?
900 miles away.
So like 100 miles times 9. Wow.
900 miles. You want me to convert that to kilometers?
Sure.
1,437 kilometers. I don't know. Can you do the calc for me? Do miles to kilometers. What did I say? 1437?
Okay. Oh, you're way
miles to kilometers is what? Go ahead. Hit it.
1448.
I said 1437. Dude, I said 1,437 miles away, and it turns out that 900 miles is 1,448.
Wow, you know your
what
metric
the
system.
hell?
He does.
You know that metric system.
Look how close I was.
Wow.
It's weird.
Holy schnit.
That's crazy.
All right, now we got to talk about the crunch slap at Taco Bell.
Where did this happen?
Oh, this happened in California. A security guard at a Taco Bell gets into some type of altercation with a customer. She's walking up to like the digital ordering kiosk, and he just wails on her and just slaps her in the face. It's like, what are you doing? You hear that? You hear the slap? Listen. You hear the slap? Caught on video.
Did he just walk up to her and assault her?
Well, there's like some pictures of her and the security guard having some kind of. And by the way, that's a nice Taco Bell. Have you seen some of the newer Taco Bell build-outs? They're like nicer concepts.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't need that.
Yeah, this is I just all I want from Taco Bell are when I have a craving for Taco Bell, like the old school crunchy tacos, there's nothing stopping me. And I can mow through 15 of those things. You know, it's like a White Castle. You know, you can't go to White Castle and get like 2 or 3. You got to buy like 2 dozen.
A bagful, two bagfuls.
I mean, I'm popping those things like they're breath mints. You know. All right. So this happened out in California. A security guard was caught on video. I mean, just slapping this customer who apparently was acting up a little bit. She refused to leave. So the security guard told her to leave. She wouldn't leave, and then she walks up to the ordering machine. They have a little digital kiosk, and then the security guard just bitch slaps her. I mean, just a crunch slap is what they're calling it.
Boy, you give a little man a little authority, and he's smacking people at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that the security guard at Taco Bell is not going to be doing security at Taco Bell much longer. 9:21 at the MJ Morning Show. That wraps up the second to last segment. Always love the final segment of the show, and it's going to be next. Always have great stuff because I hate leaving good material on the table. So when we get back, do you know that soda brand Poppy?
Yes.
It's become very popular. Poppy, P-O-P. They're in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, there's a stunt they did, and they're getting slammed. It's like the Taco Bell security guy is slamming them. So why is the soda Poppy, P-O-P-P-I?
Right.
It's like it's supposed to be a healthier type of soda,
right.
Less calories and probiotics or prebiotics or whatever the hell. Anyway, so Poppy has got a little bit of an incident, a little situation on their hands. So we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Oh, Brittany Mahomes crying. Yep, and then we're getting more information on Patrick Mahomes after the Super Bowl. We'll get to that coming up. Anyway, there's a lot in the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. Oh, and Conor McGregor, the
fighter?
The fighter?
Yeah.
He apparently is becoming a music promoter, and he says that he's got a new act that's going to whoop the Spice Girls' butts.
Okay, Connor.
All right, so hang on. I've got that coming up in just a bit. Oh, and you've heard about the clubs that do like bottle service?
Yeah.
We get a whole bottle. Man, I got a whacked out story on bottle service.
Isn't like the bottle service like ridiculously expensive?
Yeah, the prices are out of control. Well, wait till you hear this. Oh my God. All right, a lot of stuff. Final segment, MJ Morning Show is next here on Q105 104. Hey, so what's going on with this Poppy? Hey, Poppy. This Poppy soda. Now, Fessy, you're familiar with Poppy, right?
Yeah, I've never had it.
I've never had a Poppy either.
I know what it is. I've seen it on the shelves, and there's something about it. Doesn't it have like cultures in it or something?
Yeah,
or,
it's
or
like
something stomach health.
Like prebiotic, I think is what they call it. So, Andrew, our producer, Andrew, do you drink the Poppies?
I tried it. I had to give it a try. I did not like it.
Why didn't you like the Poppies?
Didn't like the flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
Michelle, have you ever? Well, you don't drink. You drink a cherry Coke at the movie theater occasionally.
Right. I've never had it, but they ran a commercial during the Super Bowl.
That's why I'm bringing this up. So they did a commercial last year. They did a commercial this year.
Huh.
I think the brand is doing very, very well. However, they've hit a little bit of a speed bump. Any Poppy fans out there?
I'm sure there are.
If you're a Poppy soda drinker, give us a buzz. Tell us what you like about Poppy. Poppi, the Poppy sodas. So I'm familiar. I've seen them out there. I just, as far as I'll go is like my parents always have like cases of Spindrift at their house. So I was just at my parents' house with Michelle and Chloe last weekend for my mom's 80th birthday. And if you didn't see the video of me and Michelle cleaning out my mom's fridge, oh my God, it's like a freaking dumpster. We found cream cheese from 2022.
And I don't even know what brand it was. That's like a crazy random brand that she probably got at like Home Goods or something.
She buys cream cheese at Home Goods.
They sell jelly.
They don't have refrigerated products in Home Goods.
I don't think they have refrigerated items.
I mean, the jelly was from Home Goods. That's why I said that. But I have no idea.
I bought a big bag of Himalayan sea salt from Home Goods one time.
Got a 50-pounder pink Himalayan sea salt.
Literally, it was like a 2-pound bag. It was a good price.
So if you haven't seen the video, go to my Instagram. Go to Certified MJ Radio. And just look at the little tiles.
Dude, you're like that commercial with the ants. Expired.
Oh, expired. So go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and it's only a couple down. Look for Michelle. Look for like the side profile of Michelle buried in my mom's refrigerator. And take a look at the video. All right, so back over. So drink wine. We buy a lot of sparkling water, so I have bottles of sparkling water at my house, and I'll drink it plain. I love it, or I'll just drop some lemon and lime in my sparkling, and it's like 0 calories. It gives me the soda carbonated sensation that I crave with like no calories. So at my parents' house, they love Spindrift, and my brother loves Spindrift, so they always have Spindrift. And I probably had like 8 of those last weekend. But, like the lemon one's like 3 calories. Like 3. It's like nothing in it. It's a little bit of lemon juice. It's like 3. I make my own Spindrift. But Spindrift is a really good product. I like Spindrift, when I'm exposed to it. But Poppy, I've never had Poppy. But they're in trouble because of their ad campaign.
What do they do?
Yeah, Poppy's Super Bowl Licks, LIX 59 ad campaign has caused a little controversy on social media. So the ad, Soda Thoughts, starred influencers like Alex Earl, Jake Shane, Rob Roush. I don't know who the hell... Are they influencers if I don't know who the hell they are?
They're not trying to influence you.
I know, because no one can influence me. But
No. That's not it at all.
That too, but what else, Fester?
You're not in that target audience.
Yeah, it's Gen Z and millennials, right? So do they? You're telling me that Chloe or Julian, they're both Gen Z. They know who Alex Earl, Jake Shane, Rob Roush.
Look, if 5 million people know them, it might not be your kids, but they have a following.
All right, well, apparently, prior to the ad on the Super Bowl coming out on February 9th, Poppy, the soda brand, they shipped these huge vending machines, like big soda machines, all with the Poppy logos. They sent these huge, massive soda vending machines to 32 different influencers, including Rachel Sullivan, Kaylee May, Rachel Gade, Avery Woods, Emily Kaiser, Vidya Gapalan. I don't know who these... I have no idea who the hell these people are.
Vidya Gapalan got one?
I have no idea. Vidya Gapalan.
You can't even pronounce the name.
Vidya Goop. They should have said one of Sanjay Gupta. All right, so I have no idea who these people are, but there's been a backlash involving Poppy, the soda company, because people are like, why are you sending it to these clods? Why aren't you sending these vending machines to like firehouses or police stations? Send them to like first responders.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Listen.
Just shut up.
Why couldn't Poppy just send the vending machine to colleges, hospitals?
Why couldn't they send them to children with cancer? I mean, come on, shut up. Seriously, people.
Anyway, their campaign is turning very negative, and they're getting a lot of negative play.
By people who've never drank their product.
Listen to this. So people are saying 32 machines at $25,000 per machine? Yikes! And then Poppy responds by saying, nope, the machines are way less than $25,000. So they put out their response is, the machines are not $25,000 a piece.
You can buy a vending machine for like $2,000.
The falsely reported number was not only fabricated, but inflated by 60%. So 60% of...
Puts it about $10,000?
About $10,000.
Okay.
Yeah, 60% of 25 should be about $10,000. But even then, that seems like a lot of money for a vending machine.
So the new vending... Old style vending machines, yeah, I agree, but new ones are practically computers now. So I get it.
All right. But they're in trouble. And they're just getting a lot. Listen, is it going to sink the brand? No. But they have this backlash.
No, it might, because it says that the people who would normally purchase this are now switching to the competitor, which is Olipop.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one as well. Olipop.
Right.
Whatever.
So, hey, it just takes one bad campaign.
Can you imagine you do a campaign which you think is great, and then you just... Did they market test this? Did they do like a focus group to... But here you put out a campaign. You spend what? You spend $8 million on airtime. You probably a ton of money for the production of the spot.
$500,000 to fabricate and then ship these
machines. And would you have any idea that it could cause such an uproar and potentially torpedo your brand? I mean, just the unexpected results or consequences, you know?
I mean, I think this is kind of like a wave of sentiment with our people who are watching this kind of thing. They want to see it be purposeful, right? So just sending it to someone who's going to like market your product for you and sell it is not resonating with the public.
And also, this isn't organic material. You know, I mean, if Dr. Pepper sent me a Dr. Pepper machine.
Right,
And then I
right.
was like, oh my gosh, I love Dr. Pepper. That's disingenuous.
Right.
They just sent me this beautiful machine.
You know,
Exactly.
Fester, something important I want to say.
Please.
I drink Dr. Pepper and I'm proud. I'm part of an original crowd.
Really?
I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Dr. Pepper, drink Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. Get out of here. You're telling me that the hipster in the vest in the Dr. Pepper commercials, it's his birthday today? Get out.
No.
How do you know that, Andrew?
I know.
Andrew just said that the guy in the old, bring up Dr. Pepper, bring up that dude. Go to YouTube.
What's his name? Commercial.
Yeah, just Dr.
1970s?
Yeah. Bring up or 1980. Click on 1980. Yeah. Bring up the
David Naughton?
David Naughton.
Is that who you're thinking about,
Yeah,
Andrew?
listen. Listen.
I drink Dr. Pepper, don't you see? 'Cause it's the perfect taste for me. That original taste, you know, is making peppers everywhere I go. There's boating peppers, toting peppers, cooking peppers, good-looking peppers. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Us peppers are an interesting breed.
I don't remember this version.
This is the long version.
Fester, well, it's not. The lyrics aren't the same either. Just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube.com.
This is YouTube. It's from YouTube.
Yeah, but it was a Google search. Go to YouTube actually, so you can get the whole lineup of the Dr.
All right.
Pepper commercials. So type in
Dr.
Dr. Pepper, I'm a Pepper commercials.
Pep-
All right.
There's carrying
All right.
peppers, marrying peppers, dying.
Yeah, this is some long version. Yeah, go back.
First thing that pops up is that commercial.
Hang on, let me take control of this because you're
The second one down.
Yeah, I don't want that
Maybe.
one either.
Third one down. Fifth one down.
Hang on a minute. I'm trying to find.
Maybe you misremembered.
No, I didn't misremember. I drink Dr. Pepper and I'm proud. I'm part of an original crowd. All right, hang on. Listen. Let's listen to this one here.
I drink Dr. Pepper, don't you know? And the taste is making peppers everywhere I go. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, we're a pepper. What's a pepper? Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Yeah, where's the I drink Dr. Pepper and I'm proud? Am I like misremembering the lyric?
I remember that lyric.
I'm proud of your pride in pepper, but
let me see if I can. Maybe this one has it. This is gonna.
Hey, Gus, you special enough to skate with us? I'm an all-star skater. There's nobody greater. I score every game, but being a pepper's my fame. All right, we're peppers too. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper.
I can't find the one. Oh, hang on. Andrew has it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and play the one I'm thinking of. Go. Hit it. Anytime you're ready. Here we go.
I drink Dr. Pepper and I'm proud.
There we go.
I'm part of an original crowd. And if you look around these days,
That's the one.
there seems to be a Dr. Pepper
Craze!
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. If you drink Dr. Pepper, you're a pepper too. Be a pepper.
Drink Dr. Pepper.
Be a pepper.
Yeah, man, those were better times.
Yeah.
That's when life was good. When the guy was running around with his puffy white shirt and his little leather Naugahyde vest.
yeah, telling everybody
know-
about his pecker.
I'm a
Pepper. Oh my God.
Oh, I like that. I'm a pecker.
I'm a
pecker. You're a pecker. She's a pecker. He's a pecker. Wouldn't you like to be a pecker too? Anyway, so Poppy, they're probably saying, "Oh man, what'd this ad agency do to us?"
I mean, if they would have had a commercial where they just have their truck delivering these to, fire stations, that would have been a really cool spot. Instead, you're giving it to some phony person in the middle of their living room doing, content.
Yeah.
Right. Spice Girls.
Love
and
them.
Conor McGregor is saying that he's got the next biggest thing, that the Spice Girls can suck it. So Conor McGregor, he's a loose cannon. Didn't he throw a chair at a tour bus?
One
at a
chair at
stadium
one
and-
bus.
Yeah.
Big deal.
But wasn't he also accused recently of some misconduct? I thought he had some misconduct charges somewhat recently. Anyway, Conor McGregor has signed a new girl band. Wait a minute, he's a music promoter now too?
I guess so.
He has a music label. Did you know that Conor McGregor, the fighter, has a music label?
Who would have thought? I mean, it goes together, right? You what is it? UFC, you see a fighter and music promoter.
Yeah. He's got a record label called Greenback Records, and they just signed a girl group called Sweet Love.
All right.
And Conor McGregor is saying that Sweet Love is going to be the biggest thing since the It's a Small World in their head. I put the Dr. Pepper song in their head, and now I got the tell me what you want, what you really, really want, but tell me what you want. So would you like to hear what Conor McGregor says is going to whoop the Spice Girls' butts?
Okay, so I'm looking at a picture of Sweet Love right now.
Yeah.
If the Spice Girls made a new movie
Yeah.
and they needed, stunt doubles or fill in
I can't even tell the difference.
There's Scary Spice. There's Sporty Spice.
Uh-huh.
There's Posh. There's Baby Spice.
There's Chlamydia Spice.
And Conor McGregor right in the middle. He's a Ginger Spice, right? What was
No,
that one?
there you go.
Wasn't that one of them?
Look at that. All right, so this is Conor McGregor's new girl band called Sweet Love.
Let's hear them.
Let's listen.
I will do anything. Do you need only ask? I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you.
It's a cover.
Yeah.
It's who did that song?
Boys to Men.
Was it Boys to Men? I
think so.
Hey, they don't have an original song. They're doing a cover.
Hey, Conor McGregor, you need to have some original material.
Yeah. Come on. You're saying they're gonna whoop the Spice Girls? That they're the next band, and they're doing a cover?
If I went to a high school talent show, I'd be like, those girls are pretty good.
Right.
Those girls have some chops, but I don't know, man.
They
They're
might
not gonna-
get, like America's Got Talent. They might be buzzed off of that
They
thing.
might.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They
Spice,
get the big X's. I don't know.
You're
Listen,
gonna take a shot at Posh Spice. You better hit him.
Hey, Connor, you might want to punch me upside my head, but I'm sorry.
What's the name of the band? Sweet Love?
Sweet Love.
Sweet Love might want to look into Conor McGregor and how he behaved at the 2023 NBA Finals, where he was accused of sexual assault.
Yeah, that's what I
in
saw.
Miami
That's
Stadium.
right. Yeah, he was here. He was accused of some type of sexual. Anyway, innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And then finally, as we get, I have the bottle service story as well. I got to bring it up. All right, so a couple of things regarding Patrick Mahomes and his wife, Brittany Mahomes. So Brittany Mahomes, post Super Bowl, was crying. I didn't hear that until like yesterday.
I mean, it's an emotional game. You're so invested in it.
She was crying.
Also, isn't she pregnant or she just had her third kid?
I think she just had
So
him.
she might be right. She might be a little hormonal, and you've been through this journey with your husband, and then he loses.
I
Now what are
lose
you
the
gonna
Super
do?
Bowl. I expect my old lady
Yeah.
to just cry her eyes out.
Yeah.
So she was apparently just teary-eyed after, listen, her husband got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
With Super Bowl licks.
Football's football, but
Yeah.
still it sucks to lose the game.
And then I also saw this, that Patrick Mahomes apparently was in a daze in the locker room. After the game on Sunday, Patrick Mahomes was in a daze.
Wait a minute.
So you want to talk about why it was a great game? Because nobody saw that coming.
Right.
Nobody saw the ass whipping that Philadelphia laid on him in the first half coming.
But you know what? I think he was in a daze for the whole game, to be honest with you. I mean, every time he left the field when he had a turnover
Nothing
or got
worked.
sacked, I mean, he just walked off that field and you just saw him staring straight ahead like, what the F is happening here?
And then also Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I know I got a couple of things here that are, days after the fact, but a lip reader.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen
I saw
this.
this.
I just saw this yesterday, that a lip reader has come forward and has revealed what Taylor Swift was saying when she was being booed on the Jumbotron. So we talked about that. So seriously.
What'd she say?
On Monday morning, we talked about Taylor Swift getting booed, but I didn't know what the lip reader apparently saw. So she was talking.
What?
Her lips were mumbling.
I need a drink.
And
get me out of here.
A lip reader says that Taylor Swift, while getting booed at the Super Bowl on the Jumbotron when she popped up, asked, "Oh, what? What's going on?" So, quote, "Oh, what? What's going on?" is apparently what Taylor Swift said when she was booed.
She might not have known she was on the Jumbotron at that time. They don't tell you in advance, okay, we're going to put you on in 4 seconds. She just hears the crowd booing. What's going on? Oh, they're all looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
Yeah, she was sitting next to...
Ice Spice? Was that her friend Ice?
Yeah, so she was sitting next to Ice Spice. She was in The Barbie movie, right? Ice Spice?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell Ice
So,
Spice ever done.
so Taylor Swift, when she got booed, turned to this Ice Spice in New Orleans in the Superdome and said, "Oh, what? What's going on?" I think she was shocked. Does Taylor Swift think like that everyone loves her?
Yes.
Is that
But you know what you missed about her presence at the Super Bowl?
what that?
Last year, she took as her guests Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
And this year, very telling that her very best friend was not with her because there's a little bit of a like a little scuttlebutt now. That
She should have taken that Baldoni guy. That's what she should.
No.
The one that's involved in the litigation.
But the theory is that
Yeah.
Tay-Tay is already distancing herself from her best friend because she's worried about getting drawn into this lawsuit.
Well, we've already talked about
Yeah.
the fact that it's likely or possible that Taylor Swift is going to be deposed in the whole lawsuit deal. All right, and then finally at 9:49, the whole bottle service story. All right, I'm gonna kick this down the road a little bit. I'm gonna tell you the story, but I want to explore this tomorrow in a little more depth. I saw an item about a bottle service girl, and this is like the big clubs where they have the VIP tables, and then you do bottle service. They'll bring out a bottle of Kettle One,
You
or
name it. Yeah, you name it. They have the bottles.
whatever like high brand of liquor, and you buy the bottle, and you can go to a liquor store and buy a bottle, let's say for $49.99. At the club, it's $519.
Right.
But this is insane. I saw this item about bottle girls that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There's a story of a bottle girl at a club, and this happens in New York and Miami. There's a bottle girl, or I should say there are bottle girls that are making $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You're a server, you're a waitress at a nightclub, and you're making $400,000 a year because of the exorbitant, jacked up bottle prices with bottle Whoever came up with selling a $50 bottle of liquor for $700.
A genius.
Genius.
Yes, a brilliant person.
Well, because some young woman in a tight outfit brings it to your table in a club. But we got to dive into that a little bit because that's fascinating, man. We got to come up with MJ Morning Show bottle service is what we need to do. 9:51 at the MJ Morning Show brings to a close another award-winning MJ Morning Show broadcast here on Q105, 104.7 FM. If you need to get a hold of me, I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com. My private email is MJ at MJMorningshow.com. And give me a follow on the Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day, and let's be careful out there.
Download the app now. Get the Q105 app and listen to us anywhere.